Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for some more League Lads Plus Season 3 action. It's the Losers Bracket Finals. On the Radiant side, it's yeah, we smile per hour. So on the Dire side, it's Buff Buddies. Of course, logical. Looking for the repeat coming out of the winners bracket, lost the winners bracket finals. Looking for a repeat Lads Plus victory. Buff Buddies again, big names in that one as well. Looking to of course make the grand finals on their side. My name's Badger. I already mentioned that. I will be joined by former DPC player Strawberry Shark, aka Slash the Sea Lion. You know the drill. He'll be here, aka Rook. He'll be here in whenever he's here. He's not quite here yet, but he is in the lobby. He'll be here probably about 10 minutes, so that'll be nice when he gets here. That is a unfortunately 2 casts in a row now. I'm just straight up missing a co-commentator. Casting Lads Finals, of course, not too long ago. Our boy Logical, who is now in the lobby, was not here at the 3 p.m. start time, but now at the 6 p.m. start time, we still are missing a missing a commentator. So what can you do? Repeat that as nauseum, of course. We are in the money for those who are wondering. For those who are unaware of the tournament series, this is Lads Plus. This is our higher MMR paid division, prize payout division for the Lads. The average MMR season is somewhere in the high 7K sort of range. I'm not exactly sure what number it's at, but it's up there. Prize pool, hundreds of dollars. Top 3 get paid out. So all the teams who are this deep in the tournament are getting paid out in money, but the lion's share, of course, goes to first prize, and you have to win this series to even make it to the grand finals. So, not just pride, not just ego on the line. It's actual money on the line here. We've gone from amateur to semi-professional in in one easy step. And of course, teams are here to play. It's funny. It technically is 2 friend stacks, but I think of Dire much more as a friend stack than Radiant, even though they're probably about equally as much friend stacks. Because, you look at Dire, a lot of these players rep-wise, they're, friend stack reps, especially Karan. He certainly has a friend stack rep to him from his Lads history. Versus Logical, he too is playing with a lot of his friends, good friends with Hang, aka Endplaner, good friends with Simon, friends with Enough and Camel Farmer. But Logical's got that sort of business rep. You think of Logical entering the server, he's got the business suit on, got the business briefcase, he's here to win some fucking money. he's not here to have fun, even though he's clearly here to have fun with his friends. He's here for business. I don't know why I went in this diatribe. I thought it interested me, and I was hoping it interested the viewers. Back to the actual bans and picks, though. I've ignored them for the entire 5 minutes we've been in the lobby. First phase bans, of course. Second phase bans, all done. Beastmaster, Nyx Assassin, Tiny, Shadow Fiend, Lifestealer, Bounty Hunter, Disruptor, Death Prophet, Shakiro, Clockwork, all banned out. 8-pick, Ember Spirit by Buff Buddies, Wage in the drafting chair. Response by Logical, the Timbersaw. 13 pick, the Sven. Response 14-15, Phoenix Lion. Response 16-17, Lena Centaur. There is a shocking amount of flex in this Radiant draft. Like, a lot of these heroes traditionally play 1, maybe 2 roles at most, but with the modern state of Dota and the aptitude for some of these Radiant side players to play these heroes in odd roles, there is a lot of flex. This Lena could be played mid, it could be played carry, it could be played sup. This Sven, of course, could be carry, could be sup. Timbersaw mid or offlane, Centaur offlane or sup. There's a lot of flex going on here. If I had to guess, Timbersaw mid, Centaur off, Lena carry, Sven sup. But you never know what you're going to get sometimes, even though the obvious alignment is there. Response, of course, being that 18-pick Mars. Mars, of course, back. If we're talking, larger Dota meta trends in general, Mars appears to be a little bit more back. You think about Mars, ever since he got added to Dota, ever since he got added to Captain's Mode, has been a Captain's Mode staple for everything from the highest of pro level teams. I mean, you see some of these teams like Spirit who have loved Mars a lot, made a lot of money picking Mars, all the way down through lower level pro Dota into high amateur and semi pro Dota. There's been a lot of Mars, and as a result, literally because offlane players are kind of their own breed. They kind of, you know what an offlane player is normally. So everybody who's like your offlane player knows how to play Mars. So whenever Mars is even half viable, he's kind of automatically back in the meta because every offlaner knows how to play Mars. So as a result, Mars in the lobby once again here. We like Mars. Speaking of your offlaners, offlaner, I'm a little surprised that you know, we actually have a lot of offlane players on this Buff Buddy side where a number of these players have played offlane for a good bit of their Dota career, so it's really an offlaner team. It's an entire team full of offlaners. Which of course leads to some very fun. Then there's Bunions and Wage who have no offlaner rep to them as far as I know, but still. I do enjoy my tangents. It means I don't have to speculate necessarily on the ins and the outs of Dota. There was a long time ago, where I knew the ins and the outs of the meta very well. Not anymore. Different time. So that's why I bring in the co-commentator who can talk about the meta and talk about the interactions and these finer micro bits of Dota, which one who would spam pubs and one who would religiously watch professional games and so on would know. And that was once me. I was once that guy in ye old 2014, 2013, even into the late 2010s. But I'm looking at the bottom right of my screen on my secondary monitor. It says 2024. My apologies, by the way, if during the commentary you hear any thunder sounds. There is some thunder and lightning. It is very, very frightening outside my window. So set up my mic threshold so you shouldn't necessarily hear it unless it's too crazy and wild. If it gets a little bit too crazy and it actually hits the wrong spot, I may potentially lose power or lose internet. So hopefully that doesn't happen. If it does happen, I do have a surge protector, so hopefully I don't get my computer bricked, but we'll get there when we get there, right? One step at a time at this point. Speaking of one step at a time, we're one step at a time in the ban phase right now. Ursa, Jug, Rubik, all banned out by the teams once again. Buff Buddies should want a carry hero. Yeah, we smile per hour, so we're gonna want some kind of 4 more than likely. And we are seeing bans accordingly. Logical bans out 2 carries. Wage bans out 2 force-ups. Potentially, they already could have their force-up here on this Radiant side, but it's more than likely that they're going to want a force-up here. Some hang hero. Heroes have been banned out, though, by both sides, actually. You look at Logical, he banned out a lot of these meta 4s. Nyx being the most obvious one, but also Tiny as well. Kind of a notorious 4 hero in recent patches. And then, again, you have Rubik banned out, Spearbreaker banned out. A number of these other heroes that are kind of like Flex 4-5 have been banned out. But we see a Luna selected for Buff Buddies. Should be a decent selection this game, assuming you can get a decent start on Luna. Like, Luna's really one of those heroes which will either win more or lose more from my perspective. Where if you can really get some good items early on, acquire a Manta, and especially like a Manta BKB plus like a half item is probably what I'm feeling here for in terms of you get, say, I don't know, like Tread's Wand, Manta BKB. It's probably enough to really start being a Dota hero in this game. Before that, of course, you're at risk of Timbersaw running you down and Blink Centaur and like a 2-item timing Lina really just ripping you apart. Once you have items and you're accelerating your game, then you're really able to have a lot of impact. There's a pretty good team fight right now on the Dire side. You have Mars Arena, Phoenix Egg, which is a notorious combo. Ember, of course, can cause a lot of chaos in that scenario. You have the Lion, who once he has a Blink Dagger, has a Shard, can do a lot in these fights. Ooh, okay, that is certainly also a win more, lose more hero this game. If you have a good start on Bane, can acquire, say, like a Glimmer Cape or something, or a Force Staff or an Aether Lens, whatever you're going to buy on Bane nowadays, you have a pretty good time, have a grand old time. So you know what? I've got items, I can impact, I can grip this Luna, make Karan a little bit sad here, perhaps. Do all those sorts of things. But the lane there, it's going to be Luna Lion into Bane Centaur. That sounds like a pretty fine lane for Centaur Bane, but it's a very volatile lane. where potentially there's a lot of turnaround there. You have the Luna damage, you have the Lion lockdown. This could be a very interesting lane. Perhaps we'll see a little bit of interaction going on there. A lot of stuns being thrown out, a lot of action there. A lot less interesting, of course, would be the other side lane. It's Lena Sven taking on Phoenix Mars. That feels like a bit of a both heroes are content to kind of farm lane. Potentially the Mars can get a 6 spear play. Necker perhaps get a kill on somebody, but again, Lena carry, particularly the player like Logical playing it, will position naturally in a way that'll be a little bit hard to go on him. And again, Sven is a notoriously difficult sub-hero to kill. He has a bunch of base HP, has decent base armor, has a stun, skills Warcry, and even if you kill him, he then returns to the lane with full mana, full HP. It's just, like, I play a lot of these heroes that kind of play the way that Sven Sup does, where these heroes like, you know, Abaddon and Shri and so on, who can just kind of brawl and are content with sometimes even losing these trades. Because the way your hero is designed, the way your hero naturally plays, is going to be very, very content to taking these trades and allowing your carry to hit from distance and allowing them to farm and so on. So Simon and I are very similar Sup players in that aspect. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He's much basically Simon's just a better version of me, Sup player wise, so he knows what he's doing. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of League of Lads Plus Season 3 Losers Bracket Finals. We do have Yeah We Smile per hour so on the Radiant side, Buff Buddies on the Dire side, both teams in the money looking for a chance to win by making Grand Finals. Loser, of course, goes home. It is a BO3. I will be joined by a good friend of the channel, Rook, sooner rather than later, but we don't quite know. Correction, I know exactly where he is, but I don't quite know when he'll be here, so hopefully it is soon. It's unfortunate, though. Basically, the one time that as a play-by-play commentator, you really need somebody like an analyst to do stuff is right now, especially during draft is number 1. And then like the sort of like before the laning phase breaks down is number 2. That's the 2 points of the game. Jim's not going to be here. So good friend of the channel, James, one might say, if you're really being formal, it's not going to be here for that part of the arrangements, but hopefully he will be here at some point. I did not mention Ember Timbersaw. That feels like a really good lane for Timbersaw because you're playing Timbersaw into a melee hero. It was the immediate counter pick as well in the draft. It was 8-pick Ember, 9-pick Timbersaw. And if memory serves, Logical did not use all that much reserve time to do so. Top lane, Bunions, is very deep. That's first blood going to NPL, aka Endplaner, aka Hang, on the Bane Elemental. We are seeing a lot of trading in the side lanes. Phoenix is in a lot of danger right now and will go down. Did not have the dive away because he is level 1, so that's 2 kills across the map for Logical and his team. An absolutely fantastic start. What you want there in both of those side lanes. I did mention that the Mars lane seems pretty good, but until you have level 2 on the Phoenix, maybe level 3 or so on the Mars, you're probably pretty weak there. Again, you have no dive, you have no spear. These are spells you need to interact in this lane and have a good time. And Logical, of course, being the mad scientist he is, has spent 13 billion hours in the lobby testing interactions and knowing these things. It's funny, I was talking with Jim last night, who will be here soon, about the 2 of us commentating Logical together, and he was saying, you know what? The Twitch chat is going to accuse us of glazing dog. And you know what? He's absolutely right. We are going to do that, and to say so is not an insult, but merely an observation at that point. I digress again, though. That's particularly in the early game. It's what I love doing. Like, you think about sort of the flow. Ooh, the chains, the water rune take from Wage. Good play there from Wage. Got the double impact choice there of the facets rather than the chain gang. I've been told chain gang is a bait by better Ember players than I, but That is neither here nor there. I do like the Ember Spirits, but this double impacting is pretty good. It's pretty good. Ooh, that's a loud, thunderous roar outside the house. Outside my window, so that's hopefully unheard by the stream once again. Back to die aggressing. Wait, dive mid lane. That's not a full commit to the dive. But we're seeing a forced TP by Sven. Simon's here to back up Camel. Gives him the war cry, but notice, Camel needs something to not die in this lane. I'm not quite sure what that is. Slight Chains will not kill him, but he's not that tanky right now. Wage walks away. Simon's going to zone him out a little bit, but I will say, though, I think about the rhythm and the flow of a Dota cast. It's usually a lot easier to get off topic and digress earlier rather than later, because you don't have the tension of a game, right? The game will naturally get more tense as it goes on in a competitive game. Obviously, not every Dota game will be a competitive game. But particularly in the ones that are competitive, you're almost naturally forced to be serious because the game is actually important and actually at risk. But the early game, it's much lower tension. You've time to digress a little bit and go into, you know, details about the players and the teams and sometimes less related topics. Bottom lane, Stormbolt against Buffle. Simon's running, Logical's running. Logical, though, could not get the spells off. They were on cooldown for a good bit of that engagement. Top lane, Bunions barely survives. He'll be forced to walk away, it does appear. He's got no regen. It's an active Tango, and he's actually not running away quite yet. LSA is a little bit short by Logical. Not sure if that was a player error or simply not possible to hit that stun there. Regardless, the stun was not hit. Therefore, Jay is fine. Looking over at CS, nothing too wild and crazy so far. The one thing I do want to highlight is look at the denies in general on these dire-sided cores. Middle lane a little bit less, so only 4 denies for Timbersaw, but Centaur, 14 denies. Lina, 11 denies. Juxtapose, 15 denies on Centaur, 13 last hits on Luna. This is Karan. I do believe he's 8k. Strong player, not a bum. And he's being given the business right now by Enough and N-Planer. I did mention it was a volatile lane, and, well, we're seeing it now, where sometimes things can go a little bit wrong on the Luna when you're a little bit weak in the game. You want to get more levels on Luna, get some stuff. You have this bit of a rework now. I'm not quite sure how that affects the hero, but you get this lunar orbit thing now instead of the old lunar blessing and moonglaive situation. But so far in this game, the Luna is getting absolutely blasted. Look at Enough's HP. Look how tanky he is, and Luna is just so feeble at the current time. Even with the rework, you still need to acquire some items, acquire some levels. The notorious long-term flaw of this Luna hero is, you know, before level 5, level 6, before you acquire, say, treads, you are just so weak. And we're seeing it now, where Karan is getting blasted. Despite some good play by Wage earlier in the game, Camel Farmer is still winning mid lane, by the way. 39-5 up against Ember's 32-1. Wage, of course, being the higher MR mid player. Almost inarguably the better mid player, but sometimes your matchup's a little bit too difficult to win. Wait, did Simon just get away with this? So that's an absolute blunder there by the dire side of Bunions. And Jay. Again, the first stun was fine, because you had to prevent the Wizard Room from being taken by Simon, but again, that is just good recognition by Simon. Just a mistake there by Buff Buddies, and had he gotten the Wisdom Rune, it'd be obviously a lot worse, but that's a morale killer, letting him get away like that in that scenario. Stormbolt into Chakram. Camel looks for the kill. Bot lane, Logical brings down Buffles in the 1v2 back to the mid lane. The kill is finished. That's 2 kills across the map. Mid one, a little more understandable. Bot one, that's the, again, more good play by Logical, more glazing by the commentary booth, of course, who is just me right now. I miss Jim. Mid lane, back to a dive. Stampede was used. The dive by Camel and Simon secures the kill. Back to top. End Planner still bothering Karan. Notice, he bought a ward, put it down here just to see, like, hey guys, is Bane going on me? Well, look at Bane. He's right here. Oh, he even almost got the Sentry D ward. I think the idea was more, again, block the camp. Now, it will be a blocked camp for the time being. Buffles rotates over. End Planner runs away. Wage TP's in. This should be a dead Bane. It will be a dead Bane. That is the first kill of the game for the side of Buff Buddies. They're down by nearly 4,000 gold. Before that kill, they were down by 4,000 gold. They're down by 4 kills. They're simply not having a good time right now. And I mentioned how this dire teamfight comp can be powerful later on. Bot lane, they're going in for Jay. Warcry committed. Arena has been using it again with that facets. Logical cannot see Jay. Not that he can hit inside anyways, because it's Alina. Projectiles would have been blocked by that Mars Arena wall. But regardless, even if Dire have a very strong teamfight composition later on in the game, a lot of lockdown, a lot of large AoE abilities, you have to be strong enough to get there. Again, if you get behind by too much, and you're getting your BKB plus items on Lina, your BKB plus items on the Timbersaw, you're getting these aura items and Blink Dagger on enough Centaur, you're just going to lose the video game. And unless Buff Buddies can stabilize, they're going to lose the video game. It seems like they are stabilizing a little bit, though. Notice we're seeing stacking by Buffles. We're seeing the Luna begin to have her game recover, so it should get a little bit better sooner rather than later. We're seeing a stack attempt by Karan. It's not going to work. Unfortunate right there for him, but again, it's a good block by the Bane Elemental. Top lane tower goes down. First tower dead of the game, I do believe. That is correct indeed. But yeah, we're seeing a circle drawn by Simon. Seems like Simon intends to perhaps either defend this tower bottom lane or perhaps get a counter trade in exchange if Dire do siege the bottom tower. For now, though, it's only Jay on the Mars with the siege unit. That probably should be enough to take the tower in the scenario that there's absolutely no defense made. But again, one hero defending, such as either the Timbersaw or Centaur, might be enough to dislodge the Mars. So we'll see how yeah, we smile per hour so end up orienting themselves here. Dire, as 3 smoke up, it's Ember, Phoenix, and Lion. Notice, no 6 on Phoenix, no 6 on Lion. They'll go towards enough, but enough. He'll Stampede and Blade Nail. He's on the run, gets stunned by Buffles. Bane tries to save, but he cannot do so. It will be a kill eventually, surely. Wage gets the last. That'll give Lion his 6 as well, so that finger can result in more. In comes Wage looking towards Bane. That will not be a kill. He's too tanky, and the Ember is simply too alone. With the regen rune, he will be A-okay, spamming out the spells, having a grand old time right now. We're seeing Wage go for this very sort of modern revival of actually the original Ember skill build. If you go back, way back in the day, to when Ember was added to the video game, and when he was added to the Captain's mode, you saw a number of these, professional and professional level Ember players actually skill like this. They would go max slight, max chains, and usually you see an item like a Desolator being the first main item in the game. Players like Smash come to mind for guys who were really pushing that sort of build before the Beef Fury build became the meta. Of course, Ember builds have changed very radically since then, going from Beef Fury to like Daedalus items into the Maelstrom items into more of a Mage Slayer type item with not important. Bottom lane, gripped by End Planer. Logical's Laguna Blade, the double lane, that'll be a dead Mars. In comes looking for Dendence. Lina will end up going down. He'll move to Bane. Bane will get fingered down by Bunions. That's a 2-for-1 exchange. And not only that, we're not done, because in comes Timbersaw, in comes Sven, and we'll see a siege in that bottom T1 tower. That will be a dead tower, unless there's a big defense here. Storm Bolts thrown out against Lion. Wage takes a lot of damage. Now Timbersaw is in the middle of the chaos. Lion has a stun. That's just too much damage. 3 kills now for Buff Buddies. They will grab this tower eventually. They're waiting for the creeps, but I don't think this is defendable unless somehow, some way, you can bring some friends over, perhaps this centaur. But if you're enough, you're saying, you know what, guys, Blink Dagger, I need this item. We have no way to start the team fight. If I acquire this item, I can do that. So if the tower dies, the tower dies. And yes, indeedy, the tower is dead. Last hit goes to Karan. If you're wondering, exclamation mark is Karan. He's playing on, I'm not sure if it's his Smurf or his main account at this point. I have to ask Karan about that one, and it's not that we're not friendly. Me and Karan are friendly, but I'm not quite on the terms to message him mid-game like, yo, Karan, bro, are you on your Smurf? Can you explain your account lore? So, I digress. Mid lane, slight chains into a defensive nightmare, into an offensive lion stun. The kill goes to Buffle. Simon walks in too little, too late. Camel has Chakram. Wage will remnant forward onto the sort of middle high ground area. Slight chains against Simon. That will be a dead Saven. 2 kills to Dire. And notice, simply a few minutes ago, less than 5 minutes ago, I said that Buff Buddies need to stabilize this game. Well, look at this graph. Look at this graph on your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the lines. They have gone down. This is stabilized. It is only a 1k lead for YWSPHS per hour, so still a favorable game state. They're given the advantage by Dota Plus. But the XP has gone down, the gold has gone down, and you are beginning to acquire these key items that they really need to play the video game. You have the Mars Blink Dagger. You're acquiring these stat items on the Luna. She'll want the Manta, she'll want the BKB, but that's coming. Looking over at the Ember again, is that Mage Slayer on Courier right now? It is Mage Slayer on Courier, so he's acquiring his items. And notice, the Radiant know it's time to play Dota 2. Centaur has a Blink Dagger. They run into Wage. Wage gets gripped immediately. Meanwhile, in the river, Phoenix disrupts the Sven from coming. As a result, we'll see Ember remnant away. Camel goes in to bring down Buffles. No Supernova in time. They'll move to Mars. Hoof Stomp and a counter hex from Bunions. Jay, will Arena, looks to run away, and in returns Wage. There's 2 on the inside. Chakram's being thrown. Stormbolt against the Lions. Defensive Spear comes out from Jay to knock away Simon. Now Lion goes down. It's already 2 supports dead in the Dire. They'll move to Wage. He's stunned and brought down as well. 3 kills for Logical and friends. And they'll move to Mars, move to the Luna. And notice Jay, with the selfless play, sacrifices himself. He says, you know what, Luna? You are more important than me. I will cycle the Nightmare. You will get away. You will farm the creeps. And I will die. 4 kills, though, for the Radiant side of YWSPHS per hour so. And they'll also claim that middle T1 tower. A massive rout for Simon and friends. So, for those who don't know, the reference to the name there, YWSPHS per hour so, that's the long acronym in the Twitch title, is a reference to 2 references. One being a Lads Champion team, YWSMoke So, featuring Endplaner, featuring Enough, as well as a legendary Twitch handle, twitch.tv/smiles per hour, aka Simon. They've combined the 2 names together, and they've made this sort of, again, it actually was a Lads team as well. Camel, Simon, and Logical played on, I think it was called twitch.tv/smiles per hour, simply the team name. So they've combined the 2 names, and they have made one Lads Plus team name. We're fighting in multiple angles, both in the jungle and the top lane. Nobody's quite dead yet. It seems like nobody will die. It's bottom lane that someone died. I was looking between the 2 fights in the jungle and the top lane. Instead, it's Logical solo killing Karan with the Gleipnir. Back to top lane. We're not done yet. Nightmare, perhaps into grip. We're watching. Arena, the counterplay, comes out to save Phoenix for now. Bane is in danger, and he is extremely dead, fingered down by Bunions. That's a technical 1-for-1 across the map, but I consider that a massive win. You trade a carry for a 4-support Bane. If you're a Bane fan, then what can you do? But if you're a Radiant fan, you're very content with that one. Looking at Radiant Vision, they're about to see the Mars. Oh, but they do not see Jay's Mars. He's just gonna walk away. I'm not sure if he knows how much danger he's in. He has no idea how much danger he's in, I don't think. Or maybe he does. He thinks there's a sixth sense, and I walk into the ward. Stormbolt, Centaur damage, Timbersaw damage. Goodbye, Jay. That'll be one more dead Mars in the river. Mounts a grip against Ember. Grip canceled by Lion, but it's a slight chains coming on in, but it's not enough defensive play to keep the Lion alive, simply for Ember to get away. Supernova stuns 4, will dive away on bubbles right towards Simon, who is looking to hit him for absolutely no damage. Eclipse from Karan, he's trying to play, but Wade is already dead. 3 down the dire side, and they want more. Gleipnir against the Phoenix. That'll be a dead Buffles. Last hit goes to Logical. Double kill for Lena, and one more win for YWSPHS, so they want to get the Luna. Look at this ward. It's spotted out the Luna. She's running to the east side towards that tier 2 tower. And again, that's just good, it's a good escape, but again, this warding, this very aggressive warding, one in the Radiant jungle, I should say the Radiant side of the Dire jungle, at this point, one in the Dire tri-camp. It's very good aggressive vision, allowing for these pickoffs to happen. And notice, so 10 minutes ago, I was saying, oh, buff buddies need to stabilize the game. They stabilized the game. And the moment I said they stabilized the game is no longer stabilized. It's been torn all the way back, where we see a little mountain, and then a valley, back to the mountain, even higher than the first mountain, so it's Dota 2 for you sometimes, I suppose. Smoke up on 3 from the Radiant side through the river. We do have Jim coming on in very soon. He messaged me on Discord. He's hopping on right now into the Radiant jungle at the very east side. Jay is in his arena trying to fight for his life right now. Camel's half HP. Simon is low. Wage turns it around. Simon and Endplaner are both dead. Gleipnir on Lion. Lion certainly will die. But this is so far so good for buff buddies. They want a bigger kill. They want a core. And they found the Lena. She'll turn with the Guna Blade. Centaur stun. Double edge into Ember. Ember still alive. He'll remnant. He's trying to live, but no. Logical. Right clicks him down. In comes the Chakram. In comes the chain forward. Jay is already dead. They'll move to Karan. Karan is so low. He's so feeble. And he's just so dead. LSA against Buffles. Triple kill for Logical. That's a full 5-man wipe for YWSPHS so. If you're a high MR player, parentheses, 2.5k MR plus, you'll recognize the beautiful play there from the Radiant side. It was a fantastic turnaround, and man, it seemed like they were on the ropes, but instead it was Dire who fell into a trap and got absolutely blasted. Ay, ay, ay. Huh. That's a 4-staff. Lion is a 4-staff. You see a lot of Lion players historically, they'll go, they'll go Blink Dagger first. In more recent times, we have seen a bit of Shard first on Lion as well. But Bunyan says, you know what? They zig, I zag. I will buy a 4-staff. I like the build-up. It gives me HP. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Bottom lane, bit of a short blink by enough. Buffles will get away. We are seeing a bit of heroes coalesce bottom lane. Radiant already have the 4. Dire have 4 as well, but for now it seems like everyone's going to be fine. Nobody's going to die. We're seeing pings. There's, again, more Radiant Vision thanks to these creeps, but here we go. Smoke on forward, but the Nightmare was not there in time. Blink away by Jade. It's too long of a cast time for the Bane, and now at this point, it's Stormbolt against Phoenix, but it's scattering time. Stampede has been used, but in comes the slight chains from Wage to catch Simon. Simon will look to run. He's apparently fine. Back to Endplaner, he is most certainly not fine. Back to the Radiant entrance of the jungle. We see Wage caught in the Gleipnir into an LSA into a Stormbolt. That's way too much damage. Bane buys back and they want more. Bunions Barely survives the uphill mischance. Camel misses his stun. Bunnies is still alive. Now goes down. Supernova will stun 2 heroes. Simon to fall. They want Logical. He's speared back by Jay. The Big B's been used. The grip against Luna. Luna is dead. And they'll certainly kill the Mars as well. LSA into way too much damage. 4 for 2. It cost you a buyback on Bane, but buyback well used. Another triumphant rout for Yeah We Smile per hour so. So basically, the game's become difficult. I'm looking around at what we need. We need BKB for Ember. He's not even buying BKB yet. We need BKB on Luna. She's not all that far, but not all that close either. Still another, you know, what is that, 2,000 gold? Maybe 2,500 gold? I'm not doing the math on that. Yeah, probably 2,000 gold, actually. We need BKB on Mars, perhaps, at this point. He's not even at his pipe yet. That's simply what we need. We need dire side BKBs. We do not have them. Look at Radiance. Obviously, Bane doesn't have them, but Lina, we saw in that last fight. You knocked away the Lina from this low ground area into what would have been a pretty decent spot if there was no BKB, but with the BKB, you turn it around, and it's just, you enter God mode in this sort of game here. Centaur, of course, isn't buying one quite yet, but Timbersaw has his as well. It's a 9-second BKB, so that's something I mentioned earlier in the game is you acquire the items on the Radiant side, you're good to go. BKB I mentioned, BKB over here I mentioned, and the aura's on Centaur. Centaur, he's got Crimson Guard, he's not far from the, what is that, a pipe? So we're getting there. We're getting real close to these key items. Camel blinks in, going for Jay. Bunny and stuns defensively, but in comes enough, stampeding and stunning. Stormbolt the last hit. One more kill for the Radiant side. They'll claim that mid T2 tower, more than likely. And as a result, again, the lead extends. We're up to a 15,000 lead. With the tower last, it should be a 16,000 lead. And notably, our good friend Roshan has not been attacked yet this game, as far as I know. He certainly hasn't died yet. So, did he just the Glitterblade the creep? I guess he get the Fiery Soul buff maintained, so Logical really with a bit of a bit of logical tech right there. Wage is top lane, has a defensive remnant though, so gets away to the northeast here. We could see a nighttime Roshan though. Funny I mentioned him not all that long ago because there's a lot of heroes who can waltz on over here, get a bit of a 3-4 beat going, and simply take Roshan. And while we're waiting, we are waiting, and we're waiting no longer. Looking at Dire, they appear not to directly know, but notice where they're playing. They're playing in this Radiant jungle. And you don't play here if you think there are Radiant heroes defending it. Therefore, they suspect there are heroes playing on this top side, with the most obvious objective being Roshan. And, well, Roshan has been taken. That's 2 lives for Logical on the Lina. And in come the TPs. Bunions is very deep. He needs to keep this gem alive. He'll Force Staff. He'll TP. He will not lose the gem, notably. Back to the mid lane. That's a grip against Jay. Jay again getting caught. Could not blink away in time this time. Honestly, I was more concerned for the gem than I was for the Mars. Probably would have been a bigger loss to have lost the gem, but regardless, that would delay the Mars timings even further. He has purchased the pipe, luckily. Meanwhile, Dire will go for their own Tormentor, but it's not going too well. Phoenix is very low. Lion's very low. Luna will try to finish the kill. I think she'll barely get it, but it'll be close. There we go. That's a free shard for Phoenix. A nice shard to get, I will say. It's a nice little Sunray buff, but you would have probably preferred that on the Lion rather than the Phoenix. At least if I were playing the Lion, I would like the free shard there, so. Back to our siege. We're going as bottom tier 2 tower. Tower will fall. That's 5 towers taken by the side of Yeah We Smile per hour. So on the flip side, it's only 1 tower dead on the Radiant side. Top lane Logical wants to soul kill Wage. No soul kill Wage! He just does so much damage. That is ridiculous. He has a Mage Slayer and he's still dying that easily. Back in top lane, it's Camel being gone on, but this is one tough nut to crack. Eclipse forward. Arena committed a big give on Camel and barely dies. That Eclipse damage, so Simon runs in. He is a little bit too deep for now, but he's buying time for Logical and enough to arrive. Supernova has been used. The egg is being hit, but Logical is not hitting it. Supernova stuns too. Bane will try to stay alive. Enough will pipe. He'll blade mail. He's trying to fight still. Bunions dies. Buys back. Jay dies. Buffles dies. Dire are collapsing right now. There's a gem on the floor. Enough will grab it. The courier will be sad about that play, and we know what time it is. We are headed to the high ground. Bottom lane. Dire will fortify. They'll use that glyph. Notice there's a wave coming in mid, there's a wave coming in bottom. There's no way to creep cut at this point. It will be a 3v4 face tank defense. Wraparound angle by Bunions, perhaps, but where's the angle? How do you initiate here? I don't even know. I don't think you do. I think you simply lose your buildings. Wage will slight. He'll use chains on, sadly, only creeps. Range racks go down. Melees are under attack, half HP. It's a 5v4 defense now. Phoenix returns. Mars returns. Stormbolt on Ember. Laguna as well. They're blasting Wage again! He's dead now for the 7th time. Buffles has been stunned. They're not even going to go on him. Instead of going on Lion. If he dies, that'll be a dieback. The Stormbolt in the fountain blast hits him. Dieback on Lion. Enough. Stuns on 2. Right out of the fountain. Ember returns. But look at Dire. They're still collapsing. Luna dead. Phoenix dead. Wage is dying. He's everything to the fountain. There's no running away. They're simply hiding in your fountain. And the GG is called. A dominant Game 1 victory for Yeah We Smile per hour. So they finished the game so quickly. My co-commentator still isn't here. Where actually is he? Where's my co-commentator? Ay, ay, ay. Regardless, Logical and company now one game closer to being repeat Lads Plus champions. They won it, I believe, in Season 2, and they're going to look for that back-to-back. Let's see where Jim is. Regardless, we are at the end of Game 1. Game 1 is over. We have seen an absolute blasting there. And at this point, we're looking to see if Game 2 can be a little bit closer, hopefully. But my name is Badger. I'm going to cut us to a break real fast between Game 1 and Game 2. I'm going to inquire where my co-commentator is. He is here at long last. We will see him for game number 2. On that note, though, my name is Badger, and I will see you for game 2 of Buff Buddies versus Yeah We Smile per hour. So. Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for game number 2 of the Let's Plus Season 3 Losers Bracket Finals. It is Yeah We Smile Brow or so, who won game 1 that did not mark the win, who won game 1, who beat Buff Buddies, who are now at their tournament live, looking to stay alive and get a chance to make the grand finals. We are now joined for game 2 by former DPC player, friend of the channel, Salacious Sea Lion 62, aka Salvador Salvador 37, aka Strawberry Shark, aka Rook, aka Jim. How are you, Jim?
I'm chilling. Excited to cast this upcoming Dota game. I hope to do my best to perform. Um, that is all.
Well, that is all from you, and that's all for now. And this draft is Tiny and Rubik. There are some first phase bans, of course. A lot of similar heroes banned out to game number 1, but notably Sven Ember now banned out as well. So as a result, Tiny made it through the ban phase, which should be interesting.
Yes. I'm pretty curious to see if Radiant have any like hidden strats cooked up for game 2 after a rough game 1. You know what I mean? What do you think, Badger?
I'm sure they have something. I mean, that was it's one of those things where they got blasted in the laning phase, and they had like a couple good fights, but other than that, after the laning phase didn't go all that much better. Maybe they want some stronger laning heroes this time around.
Gotcha.
That's
Yes,
what
Cat 1. Yes.
that's what I would want at the very least. I know you've been on a team with me before multiple times. Whenever we get absolutely blasted in the laning phase, I'm like, you know what? Let's get some stronger laning heroes where
True.
I mean, getting beaten in lane, even if it's inevitable, sometimes you can certainly win losing some lanes. It just beats you morale wise to just lose lanes.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so- you can have the inverse problem sometimes. Like if you lost lanes really bad, and then the next game you pick strong lanes, and you're like even slightly losing lanes, I think your team gets into a panic as well, which is the concern.
Yeah.
So we'll see what actually happens here. Um, with all the changes, it's kind of hard to know who's actually getting the most OP heroes out of the draft. You know what I mean, Badger?
Yeah.
Uh, I was watching some like pro games last night for a little bit, and trying to think if there's anything I saw that I thought was really strong. I was watching the B Cop Rojo China casts.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
I really don't know. Clockwork, okay. I like this hero. Very solid hero. Pretty sure Bunions plays it and their 5 plays it, right?
Yeah, they both definitely play it, I'm sure. If I had to guess, it's probably gonna be Buffalo's Rubik, Bunyan's Clockwork, but you never know.
5 seconds remaining.
Have you seen the Rubik core? I kind of like Rubik core a lot. I kind of like the Rubik mid shit a lot. I wouldn't mind them just sending it mid if their mid laner feels good on it. I feel like it's a very stable laner, and it like can pop off really hard if you get some good runes, get some good spells. You know what I mean?
Wait, didn't they just nerf Rubik mid though?
Oh, did they? I didn't know better.
Thought they did, but honestly, I didn't read the root part too heavily, so maybe I just read it wrong.
I could have read it. We could. How about we're both wrong together, Badger?
That tends to be how our casts go, yeah.
That's awesome, Badger. Isn't that perfect? No,
We'll go with that, sure.
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's perfect.
I appreciate you think that. I appreciate that.
Timbersaw, did this hero get buffed?
I mean, it's just
He was pretty shit before, wasn't he? He was like pretty unpicked, like crazy.
I think Camel Farmer likes the hero a lot. I know enough can play the hero as well. It's a good draft flex for this team where they can play it.
All right,
Two girls.
I'm gonna scroll through the patch notes, Badger. I'll take one for the team.
It's gonna say I'm not going to, so I could, but I'm choosing not to. I remember when the patch came out, I'm like, you know what? Control F, heroes I care about. I'm like, yep. That's changed my hero. I'm good to go. I mean, once
I'm
again,
scrolling all the way down to T.
you can always control F Timber, but we do have Phoenix.
Can you control F in the Dota client? No,
Oh,
I'm
never
looking
mind,
at
never mind. I thought you were looking through the web page.
No,
My
I
bad.
should have. I should have. They buffed his innate a little bit, which was mana per tree destroyed, which, eh, eh, that's not a bad buff, Badger, because you do destroy a lot of trees as Timber saw when you click Q in lane, assuming you're being played in the side lane. If they're playing it mid, then the buff that occurred does literally nothing for mid Timber saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it just like yeah, it does like it does nothing, honestly.
Keep in mind, last game it was played mid, but it was played in a Timbersaw Ember matchup where it was Timbersaw counterpick Ember, which is kind of a good Timbersaw matchup. So
I
this
see.
time they will have an option to either put the Rubik mid or grab a better Timbersaw answer mid. This hero doesn't get absolutely, Ember Timbersawed.
5 seconds
Fair.
remaining.
I will say though, so Ryu at Ursa selected. We've been seeing a good bit of Phoenix in recent times, and this Ursa hero should be a pretty good killer of Supernova. Despite Logical's team utterly and completely owning the game, they still kind of struggle to kill Supernova. So this game, the struggle should be a little bit less for the buff buddy side.
I don't love this Ursa pick.
Dire team pick.
Unless they have unless this is a Rubik because Rubik Ursa doesn't really sound like it's very good against Timbersaw Phoenix, and they could just send Tiny mid.
Dire team
You know what I mean? Like, oh, so it's sent. Okay, there's just I was off as the Timbersaw is going mid. Hmm. I don't really like that they picked Centaur here.
Yeah, I mean, it's again. I think it's comfort for them. They had Centaur last game. It went very well last game. And sometimes when you play a game and you win, you're pretty content with the heroes you've already had. And they've grabbed Tiny Phoenix, strong meta heroes to pair with Timbersaw Centaur. Maybe say,
Yeah, I mean, I've talked
we're
with
good.
Dog about this exact thing about picking your players heroes they're good at and want to play over other things. And it's pretty much yeah. Me and Dog talked about this like literally like 2 days ago or so, 3 days ago.
Yeah, I mean,
You might have been there, Badger. It was like after it was either before or after our lads in house, I'm pretty sure.
10 seconds
I might went to bed after that game. I don't remember that conversation. So,
5
Okay,
seconds
that's fair.
remaining.
but I mean, having played on a team with Logical, I can confirm that is often the way that he approaches the draft, where he's like, you know what, you play this hero, pick this hero.
Yeah. Which I think is this a very strong way to draft.
Honestly, at every level of Dota, short of like top tier pro Dota, and even at top tier pro Dota, sometimes his comfort's good.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
I
bro.
mean, look at Amar. Like his comfort heroes are good in the meta. They're winning tournaments. They're not in the meta. He's not in the team. So
Or like even that for a long while, he would make his heroes work no matter how bad they were. Honestly, like I remember Husker getting repeatedly nerfed at one point, and like Amar still like was picking it in pro games all the time. You know what I mean? Like
that's true. That's true.
like I think people underestimate how much you can do if you really know your hero.
I mean, there are obviously
Like
a
Badgertron.
lot of players in Dota history have done that. I mean, Bulldog comes to mind as well as another guy who just plays his heroes and likes them. If you go back to like 2015, Mason again, one of those guys who was playing some kind of off meta shit at TI 5.
10 seconds.
I think like a lot of carry players do it too, where they're just like, "Yo, bro, just give me TV." Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
5 seconds
I mean,
remaining.
you remember Jackie Mao Terrorblade?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Do you remember
forget-
Jackie Mao
yeah.
Clinks? That's the real question.
I do, but
That
nobody.
was my favorite.
It was good, but I mean, Jackie Mao Terrorblade put the fear of God in grown ass adults who were like at the top
Bro,
of the game.
the blink clinks was pretty crazy, bro. I think you're
I
underselling how
know
good the
it's
blinks
good.
was.
I watched MLG Columbus live. It was good, but
Yeah, bro. I watched MLG Columbus live. They won a tournament, bro.
they were just outright first picking Terrorblade every game for like multiple patches, and they were winning every game with it pretty much.
Well, I think Terrorblade was really OP out when he was like released for like a really long time.
It's true, but I remember after they nerfed
I think
it, he
I
was
think the
still
Terrorblade one
first
is
picking
less.
it, and he was still winning
I
every game with it.
Yeah, but I think the Terrorblade one is less impressive because I think the hero is like I think the hero like needed a nerf like for like a long time and it like never they kept giving him small little nerfs and he was like still the best. You know what I mean? Like it's like
I remember this. You're right.
I feel like Chinese teams were also all first picking Terrorblade and just going, hey guys, go farm and push all the waves and then show up with 10 items at minute 1 and just be Terrorblade who is strong at every part of the game.
Yep,
Terrorblade.
he was back then. He really was.
Yeah, no,
But I mean,
Terrorblade for the newer Dota players, guys, Terrorblade was like Terrorblade probably rivaled like Monkey King for how OP they were on launch. And Monkey King was really OP on launch. Badger, do you remember the Monkey King on
oh,
launch?
that was really. I don't want to remember that. I mean, basically every hero on launch either was broken day 1 or was not broken day 1. Reddit complained it was broken day 2, and it's just left broken for months at a time.
Yeah, I think the monkey one, I think the reason we remember it more is though is because of how much he would crash the game. Because I actually think Terrorblade was like similarly OP for a similar amount of time. But I think Monkey King was just so also because it was really frustrating to play against Monkey King because he would ult and you'd be stunned through FPS.
Do you remember?
Like
I
you
do
would be
remember that. I do
stunned
remember
through
that.
like out of game mechanics. It was like pretty fucked up.
Do you remember on release Earth Spirit?
Yeah,
Like that is just
not
the,
that
that is
not
the
that
most broken hero in Dota history. There will never be a hero that broken ever again. There just can't be.
I actually wasn't playing at that time for a while, but I remember watching a tournament. I was like, "Oh, who
No,
is
no,
this
no, no,
hero?"
no, no. If you saw it in tournament, it wasn't that broken then, because they nerfed it like 17 times before it entered Captain's mode.
Really?
Yeah, because
It was really OP when it first entered Captain's mode.
yeah, it was
Badger, as
really
well.
OP. But okay, so I
So
remember
it was even
yeah,
more
yeah.
OP than because it was like when it first entered Captain's mode. I remember it being like first
It
pick
was, it
ban for
was.
like the entire big and like if you ever saw it go through, whoever got it would just go like 10 and like 50 assists
Yeah,
and
I
like
know. But okay,
you know.
me tell you this too. Remember, so you remember, Jerax? He's pretty good at Dota. You may have heard of him. Hold that thought. Logical is being gone on right now. He's inside the cogs. He's already skilled Strength Morph. He's fine. MPL walks over, has a skill point ready to go. Skilled Avalanche hits it on 3 heroes into a 3-man hoof stomp, into a 3-man chakram. But where's the damage? It's just not there. Nobody's dead. And now it's Dire who's taking a bit of AoE damage. Cam Farmer's half HP. Bunnions is slapping. Somehow nobody dies there. Welcome to game 2, by the way. So on release, the poll was a stun. It was
The
a
pull.
stun.
Oh. Oh
So
yeah.
you've heard of Jerax, of course. You very
Yeah.
good Dota player. If there's a Dota Hall of Fame, of course, Jerax would be in the Hall of Fame. But he would literally play offlane Earth Spirit, and that's what he first became known for. He played offlane Earth Spirit. He would play back in this 1v3 tri lanes. He would like get like minute 3, minute 4. He would kill the entire tri lane on release Earth Spirit. It was so broken. It was so broken. There were a bunch of European pro players like Pycat and No Tail. Avalanche have to hold that thought again. Ursa walks forward. Everyone's fine. So back when you could repick an all pick, what like Pycat and No Tail and these guys would do is they would literally pick Earth Spirits. This time nobody else could pick Earth Spirit, and they would repick another hero after everyone was picked. Like it is the most broken hero ever. Like the only thing that are even comparable to Annalise Earth Spirit is like some of the Dota 1 heroes. In Dota 2 history, nothing ever will be that broken ever again. It's not possible.
I
Like you will never ever see it. It was not okay.
no,
It
I
was
got
so
you.
not okay.
Because I don't think I was playing Dota at the time, but I think I remember watching a tournament when he got added to Captain's mode, and he was really OP when he was in Captain's mode too. So
Oh, he
if he
was.
was if he was like yeah like so he must have been really OP.
Yeah,
Because he was actually like godly in Captain's mode too. Dog is playing Morphling.
Yeah, he is. Because they moved the spells again. Oh, double courier kill bottom lane. That's a huge play from Hang. Because I think he was on the stun was on the kick by the time I put him in captain's mode, not on the pole. Because to me the stun on the pole was just. How do you counter that? You just don't. Because it was what happened is you get stunned on the pole, he'd roll in, and then he would kick you away under a tower or something. You'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, you're like literally like not interacting with it. Yeah,
you
I
literally
see.
couldn't.
No, I can envision. I can envision what you're talking about better.
It was
You know, I
it
can just imagine
it
it.
was just so much everything. He did everything.
This is actually a pretty free Morphling game. Unless Ursa gets absolutely massive. But this is actually a pretty free Morphling game. Um, as long as he's careful, as long as he keeps track of what spells Rubik has. And because if Rubik buys a Dagon and gets some like steals like, I don't know, Whirling Death, he could like, or you know what I mean? Like there are some conditions where he could feed pretty easily.
He's taking a bit of damage top lane, but he's just fine. We were distracted by the way. Whose draft do you prefer from game 2?
Dyer's just because it looks like it looks like a super easy Morphling game outside of maybe Rubik popping off. And you said Rubik might have gotten nerfed, so if it did, then I'm gonna be pretty worried. I'm gonna click over on. I'm gonna hover all
they
Rubik
decreased the
spells.
spell amp a little bit. And I think they did another thing too. Like they
They
yeah,
decreased the extra attack
spell amp
damage you
too.
would get.
Yeah. So they
Yeah,
did
so-
multiple nerfs to the spell amp.
Well, the spell amp and the damage from it, which I think is like pretty. Cause like I played a game with Rubik Core and you hit surprisingly hard with the, but now you're gonna just hit way less hard for
Yeah.
like randomly with your right clicks. The only reason I would say that this is like literally like an extremely like, oh, Morphling will just 1v9 this, but I never see Dog play Morphling. I see that he's gold tier, but like that's not that many games. So I actually really have no clue how Dog will perform. But if Dog is like pretty decent at Morphling, he should honestly just like 1v9 this game. I'll be honest though, I already dislike his skill build. I think he should have put a point in the W spell so he can fight them, and then if they try to leave, he like shoots them away, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think there's probably no
meanwhile,
point in holding off taking it now.
Dude, I'm not sure if you watching this fight bottom lane, but Dyer chose
No,
this
I'm just
fight.
watching top.
They chose to fight bottom. Centaur's dead. Tiny's running away right now. Bunions is like they went on Bunions. They tossed in the Centaur, and they have not had a good time in this fight. Tiny's gonna live. But that's not a one fight at all.
Yeah, I'm kind of just watching top lane. Dog has really good CS though, actually. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think Wage needs to do a lot because he's really their own like. Death Prophet can sometimes cheese a kill on Morphling with silence before Morphling has Manta, but it's pretty hard. Like Death Prophet's damage comes out really slowly, Badger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes NP can cheese a kill with ultimate, but this guy is like the pause 5, you know, like, and he's not like crazy high EXP. Like it just, I feel like a lot of this game will be on how good Dog is at Morphling, because I do think that he has good stuns on his team. He has tanky heroes to go in front. He has heroes to give vision and walk in first. You know what I mean? Like his team has all the tools to help Morphling, and he has a really good Morphling game, and his lane is going really well. So
Yeah.
this is not to say the game is out of Radiant's control in any way, but like there's still a lot of stuff Radiant, like it's not like Radiant's out of this game or anything, to be clear. It's just that like I would be pretty scared of letting Dog's Morphling cook too much, because
Look at the rotation
It's a
top
pretty
lane
easy morph.
by End Planer. Buffles is certainly going to die. But can they kill Jay? Probably not. They're going to try. They're going to fail, though. They're going to be a counter kill. Or no counter kill. Immediate tree cut by Simon. He's fine.
yes, eel. So there's something funny about saying yes, eel, Badger?
A little bit, yeah. It's a little bit odd, I would say. You'd say,
What is
huh.
odd about saying yes, eel?
Where you really don't need to break this down, Jim? Do you really think it's worth our time and effort to break this down?
Fine, you don't have to. Sorry for asking.
Oh, dude, Camel's having a tough time with the pinball right now. Took a lot of damage from the cogs, but he's still alive.
Yeah. Let's see.
Meanwhile, bot lane, Buffles has arrived. Enough is in danger, and enough is dead. The Avalanche is a little bit too late. Not that it would have changed the outcome more than likely. Now Tiny will begin to run. He's now inside the cogs. Now he'll be outside the cogs soon because he'll be dead soon. That's one more kill for Karan. In mid lane, Wage, with a rotation from Bunions, kills Camel Farmer and Simon. So across
this
the
is the
map,
kind of
that's 4
start-
kills.
This is the kind of start you need just to interact with the Morphling a lot. Yeah. Well, okay, one thing I think is, I really hope Dog doesn't buy Dragonlance first item. I actually think he should make a Hurricane Pike at some point in the game, because it will literally like make Ursa unable to interact with him. But I don't think you should buy it now. It's gonna slow his farming down. And Morphling does not farm like that. Like Morphling needs like more stat efficient items than something like Dragonlance, which doesn't give that much agi for 1900, and doesn't give that much. Like, it doesn't give you any mana regen. Like right now he's buying like 0 mana regen. And the way you play Morphling now is you max Q and you farm with it.
He's got range drop. That's got some mana regen. You know,
No,
he's good.
it's not. No. he should buy a Vlad's or a Null or just like some form of a Lincoln's if you wanted, like, you know, just something that gives mana regen, because like that's what you do as Morph now. You just like you literally max your Q, get like 1 point in W, like 1 point in ultimate eventually, and you just max stats, right?
There's some wild stuff going on at the dot. You saw that stuff at the dire side Wisdom Rune?
I did not. I honestly don't. Honestly, Badger, when there's a Morphling in the game, a lot of the time I just you're gonna have to draw my attention because I literally just watch the Morphling a lot of the time.
Understandable.
I actually feel bad for Dog because like I don't want to critique his Morphling too much. So far, he's been farming very well, and I'm a big Dog fan. Keep it up, Dog. That's my whole speech, by the way, Badger. You feel free to say useful words again.
Yeah, Wage mid lane brings down the tower, almost kills Simon, ends up dying to a 3-man tower defense.
That's hype, Badger, right?
It is a little bit hype, yeah. It's a very early tower kill. They can go for another one very soon. Meanwhile, in the cog, Centaur's trying to survive, trying to... We got double cogs knock! Buffles! Another cog played by Buffles. He's just popping off right now.
That's hype, Badger.
Yes. In come the cogs once again, but now there's Illusion to the Camel Farmer to bring it down. Buffles. Kill goes to the Timber Saw. Now 4 kills on the board for the dire side, but it's Radiant up in gold, up in kills, and up in towers. They're looking to make a second tower kill top lane. Jay on the DP has popped the Exo, but... Well... You probably need a little bit more than just the Exo.
Dog is making a null now, by the way. I'm really glad he went back for mana regen.
So is it like buy Null, then buy Mask of Madness or something? You just go casual Morbid Mask? What's the play?
You should make a casual. You get a casual Morbid Mask for, like, okay. I was seeing yesterday when I was watching pro games, I was seeing all of the morphs turn into Vlads. But to be fair, that was like 2 games. And like it's a new patch, you know, like whatever the build is gonna, you know what I mean? But like, yeah. This game I would like the Vlads a decent bit, and then probably Manta, and then Pike or Satanic, or B Vlad. Honestly, like it's such a good morphling. You can kind of buy like, as long as he's farm batch or whatever items he buys are fine. And if the Ursa gets pretty farmed, then he needs to make sure he buys a Hurricane Pike, and he needs to like be like prepared to, yeah, he needs to be prepared to actually like get his money's worth out of the Hurricane Pike.
Now it'd be sort of the quote-unquote offensive Hurricane Pike, not the defensive one, right? Where you use it on the Ursa to knock him away and get the extra hits off?
Yeah.
I mean, it just means like he can't like blink on you and just stand on you for the whole fight. Like, you can wait for him in, you can attack people where he comes on you, you do it, you walk away, etc. It's not. No,
that was a beautiful hook snap from the Nuff bottom lane. By the way, Stampede comes out from the Centaur. Camel gets to it. That was actually a perfectly timed hoof stomp, hitting the 2 heroes there.
What's hype, Badger?
That might have been frame perfect. That was really well timed.
Woo! I think you could make a frame perfect hoof stomp if you wanted to.
In 2024, not anymore, brother. Not playing the going in for Jay. Jay has Siphons, has 4-1 Tartars and 2 Lotuses. Camel goes down bottom lane, but it's a trade for Jay top lane. Hookshot forward by Buffle. Centaur has a wand. I believe had a Lotus as well. As a result, it's a little bit too tanky. They'll turn on Clockwork, wait for him forward by Buffles. Another Furion TP in top lane into a Sprout, keeps Buffles alive. Logical gets tossed forward, however, not result in the kill on Clockwork. That's a 2-for-1 across the map. I believe a win there for the side of Yowie Smile per hour, so.
That's hype, Badger.
Wait, hold that thought, because Wage is red. He's hasted. He's trying to kill Logical. Problem is, he's playing Morphling. Has the Morph Strength button, so he's fine.
Can I tell you something I don't like in this lobby?
What do you not like?
I don't like that I think that they should have had a core Y vessel this game. Like, Bunyan isn't gonna have this vessel until maybe like, let's say, minute 15, maybe minute 14. I mean, unless he suddenly starts getting a lot of income. Getting an observer ward like that will help. But like, it's an extremely good vessel game. Vessel is extremely effective DPS and like against tanky things. And there's a Timber Saw. There's a Centaur, there's a Phoenix, there's a Tiny. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then there's also a Morphling. I think.
Speaking of Morphling, he's going in top lane. It's already silenced. The silence kills him.
Oh god, that's so bad.
What a huge silence from Jay, and now it's Simon in danger. He can supernova, but it's because, you know what? I'd rather keep the spell, I would have lost it anyways. So it's 2 dead, they'll head to NPL, aka Endplaner, aka Hang. But Wage and Jay just have too much damage. 2 kills for Jay in the fight, 3 for Zero, and...
This Death Prophet hero scales really hard, by the way. Like, they were not having an amazing lane. Like, they had, like, decent farm. They didn't, you know, it was like they were having a whatever Death Prophet game. But the Death Prophet has gotten so much golden, like, Jay's been playing this really well. He's gotten so much golden EXP in the past, like, few minutes. I'm extremely worried for Dire, by the way. I love Dog, but his Morphling is leaving me a little worried. You know what I mean, Badger?
You know, it's funny. I was joking in the Game 1 cast that this is like basically the Twitch channel for Glazing Dog. But ever since you've been here, you've not been Glazing Dog. You've been saying,
Well, he's
you know
playing
what?
Morphling, and I don't think he should be playing Morphling. I'm sorry. I love you, Dog. I love you, Dog. I'm sorry. I don't want to lie.
There's fights in multiple lanes, by the way. Top lane's the one where the death seems to be occurring. Urn has been used by Bunions. Enough is incredibly low. And the Crypt Swarm from Jay. It's still called Crypt Swarm, right? Yes, it is. Brings down enough.
I think so, Badger.
I'm always scared to rename some of these ability names where... If I say it,
safe.
it's like,
You're
oh yeah,
safe.
they've changed the name. It's no longer called this. It's now called that. It's like, oh, whoops. I've shown I haven't played Dota in a while.
Badger, you're the best player on our team. You can't be talking about yourself like this.
Does lads know who our team is yet?
I don't know. You would know better than I.
I mean, technically, I mean, the admins know who our team is, but...
Why does he have a Dragonlance? Buy Manta! Sorry. Dog shouldn't play Morphling in Lats Plus again, though. This
No.
is not... I love Dog. It's just like, this is like...
Listen, the experts in the Twitch chat, including friend of Logical Storm Soldat, insists that, and I quote, bro only plays Morph, so... Apparently he's playing more Morph than... Or he's
Bro
perceived
does not
as
only
playing
play...
more Morph.
Bro, I'm pretty sure he's been Gold Morph for, like, forever. Listen, I'm going Dog's history,
Yeah,
okay? I see
go to Zodo.
I see one game of Morphling in unranked, okay?
Wait a minute.
And... yeah.
Did Bunions just steal both Wisdom Runes? Because the minute 7 rune went to the Radiant side. And now the minute 14 they got both. They got the 7 and the 14. That's hilarious.
I'm just saying though, Badger, like Dragonlance is not a farming item, and this game it's not a fighting item, because without a Dispel, like, you can't, like...
You get silenced by Jay and die, yeah.
Well, okay, because it has a projectile, right? So, like, theoretically, what you can do is you can shift up when you see him throw it, but Dog didn't do it. So, if you didn't do it the first time, I'm not going to count on you to do it the second time. You know what I mean? Like,
Did you just... Wait. You saw that, right? So he's got one shot.
no, but I'm not
He just
surprised.
got one shot.
He doesn't have, like, he has his Quelling Blade instead of his Raindrop slotted in, and Rubik has Phylactery, and, like, he's level 12, like... this game's already over, Badger. I'm gonna be honest. I love you, but big fan of Dog too. I love Dog. I'm such a massive fan of Dog. I don't want to lie. Okay, it's this game's over. I think.
He got one shots.
Yes, I know.
Middle lane, enough's being gone on. Has Stampede, gets hook shot by Buffles, but he's dead as well to Wage. So apparently, despite the nerfs, Wage says, "You know what? I'm so good at this hero mid. I'm gonna own anyways." He is.
I mean, reading the nerfs,
Popping
they're not that painful.
The only heroes that are in pain right now are on this Dire side. I mean, they're getting utterly and completely blasted by Wage. Buffles just can't believe inside the Cogs. Cogs knocked back as their Wage can blink forward in 9 if he wants to. Logical is back, but he's already morphing up because he knows what happened last time. He knows what happened. He remembers. And Simon will remember that death for a long time as well.
I love Dog. DEI co-caster. Bro, who is this guy?
That's the lads champion Storm Soldat?
Okay. What the fuck does, like, what?
Stampede, middle lane, hoof stomp onto. This could be the play to turn the game around. Wage dies.
Bro,
Gives
he's
the streak.
divine
They'll
fucking,
head
like,
to
bro,
Jay.
don't-
Jay is already dead as well. Huge Cogs again. Keeping a lot of heroes on the inside. Enough to fall. Karan's trying to hit the double damage room, but he's so low on HP. He's looking to kill Kale first, though. Wait for him in by Logical. It'll end up being a 3-for-2 trade. I'm so surprised Karan killed Camel there. But we're not even done yet, because Logical's still fighting. Buffles is running away. He's getting through the Cogs, knocks away the Cogs, but in comes Dog with 75 damage. He's not killing. the Clockwork alone, but he has a friend. That friend is Hang. Buffalo's hook shots over to the try camp once again. That should be the end of our team fight right here, right now. A 3 for 3, I believe. 2 for 3? 2 for 3.
Listen, Badger. All right, I'm just gonna let me cook for a second. All right. All right, bro. Listen, you should not you should not comment on co-casters if you are divine. I'm literally like I'm literally like double your MMR, bro. Okay.
Leave the
Do
Twitch
not
chat
be telling
alone.
me that.
Leave the Twitch chat alone, Jim.
No, bro. Twitch chat's asking for it, bro. What's this guy going on about, bro?
Leave the Twitch chat alone. The Twitch
Sorry,
chat.
Badger. Sorry, I'm leaving Twitch chat alone now. Okay, but you have to understand that was warranted.
I'm not saying you're
I didn't-
wrong,
I
but I
didn't-
need you
I
to the
didn't
Twitch chat
decide that
alone. Jim, okay, remember when I was on BTS and I had like 20,000 viewers for one of my streams? If I was in the Twitch chat that day, I wouldn't have been casting. I would have been in the Twitch chat all day, like, man, your critique's bad.
You're right, Badger. You're right. Okay, listen. You know what, Badger? We're just gonna focus on how Dyer gets back into this game, and I think Dyer is gonna get back into this game through Simon. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, big supernova, big sunray.
Yep.
Roshan's dead, by the way. I mean, Ursa.
They really only have one hero who actually hits egg, and it's Ursa. The other heroes are all like super low attack speed, and if Phoenix lands his W on any of them, they're not gonna be able to hit egg at all. So I actually do. I think their team fight is still good. I do think they need a way to deal with Jay though. I don't know. Jay's kind of really a problem for them, Badger, because he's gonna have pipe like in like a minute or two, you know, like 2 minutes probably they'll pipe, 3 minutes maybe. And when he has pipe and Greaves and level 2 ulti, it's gonna be a problem.
Speaking of problem, we're fighting mid once again. Simon is incredibly dead. Luckily, enough got away, but at this point, Radiant said enough with this farming Dota. Double entendre, very intended, by the way. They'll go for this mid T2 tower with Jay's EXO, or perhaps, thought for a second they might hold the EXO for Jay at level 12, but I'd say, you know what? We don't need to wait for, probably not to wait for that level 2 ulti, I suppose, and we'll take level 1 ulti instead.
Yes. Yes, Badger, yes.
Wait, look at the Tiny's build. He's buying second item Wind Waker. Is that... It feels actually kind of good. A little insane, but kind of good.
Oh. Yes. Yes. Yes, Badger, I agree.
Is that okay? I figured it out. So you don't need to buy a dispel on logical if you just have Tiny dispel you.
Yeah, yes, Badger. Yes,
Of course, he has
that's the
RP
game
from
plan.
Wind Waker. Let's stop on 2. Supernova on top. It's already a dead wage. One life has been lost on Karan. That stun will not stun, but they'll move once again to the Ursa. He pops the enraged, gets Yulesed up by, I believe that's Tiny, who just finishes Yule Scepter. Hook shot in by Buffalo Simon. It's Invis. Karan the fall. In comes Logical. They'll bring down Clockwork. That's 3 kills. And we're headed to Bunions, who will TP away successfully, but our net worth lead, it is now shrunken. Look at this net worth graph. It's gonna go down.
Yes.
You got any more words than yes, or just gonna say yes?
I'm thinking. I had to close your chat. That's all, Badger.
I'm drawing my box.
Badger, you might hate Redditors, but I hate Twitch chatters.
Listen, Twitch chat, at least they're honest. Redditors are not honest people. They are simply Redditors. They'll say whatever they think Reddit will like.
Listen, they're both special.
But I prefer the honesty of Twitch chat to the fake dishonesty of Reddit every day of the week.
None of this has to do with honesty or dishonesty, Patrick. I don't think of either of those statements in regard to either of those communities. But I appreciate your takes, Badger.
Wait,
I think Dyer has a really good thing going for them right now, though.
Hook shot in by Buffles. That could be a dead Tiny. You were saying about before that?
Dyer has a very good position on the map right now, where they have managed to hold their tier 1 safe lane tower. They have taken the enemy team's tier 1 safe lane tower. Oh, actually, no, never mind. Roshan is way too far away.
Yeah, it's gonna be at least 5 minutes, maybe a little more than that. Bunny and
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they just picked it up at the end there. Okay. I thought it had an earlier spawn timer. I thought they could get second Aegis on bot side, and it would be really good because the second Aegis is like better now, you know, because it gives you the it like you know how they change Roshan, right, Badger?
Yeah, guaranteed banner on kill 2 now, no matter what
Yeah,
side
yeah.
it's on.
So you get 3 things from second Roche, which makes second, like, cause second Roche has always been OP, like, I mean pretty much throughout all of Dota, and now second Roche is even better for like closing the game out, cause you get the banner and the cheese, you know? It's like it's like really like I feel like it's one of the changes to, because I feel like in Dota they've been trying to tackle the like, oh, pro teams just sitting high ground problem for a while, you know, and I feel like this is kind of a helpful change for it, of making pushing high ground earlier in the game more viable. Also, Simon just got a literal fresh G ward on that
Yeah,
obs.
I just want to point out too. So the Tormentor area has been an absolute. I don't know if I want to call it an area of high skill this game. It's certainly been an area of interest. So no team has gotten a 1-for-1 Wisdom Rune trade. Radiant got the first 4. Dire gotten the last 2.
Dire's bottom tower.
Both teams have lost a hero to Tormentor. What is going on? Can you tell me what's going on right now? Is this like the pressure of the loser's bracket, or is it just it's an acceptable loss to lose yourselves for this trade? I guess enough as well. Who's not a support player? He's playing offlane Centaur, but
Yeah, I don't know, Badger. They're in some unique trouble. I don't know, Badger. This is just
Like the gold lead is stabilized, but I'm pretty scared for Dire because I think like Radiant is gonna have the pipe item. Like it got delayed a bit with Jay's death, but like I think when they have the pipe and the Greaves, as long as they walk on a ball, it's pretty hard for them to get gone on. I will say Rubik, I think Rubik needs to buy a BKB. I think if he doesn't, it's gonna be pretty bad later on. I think he's gonna be food. You know what I mean, Badger?
absolutely. But he has items, and sometimes you just buy solutions to your problem. Speaking of problems, top lane hookshot forward by Buffles. Hang is inside the cogs. In comes everybody. They're all top lane, it appears. Stampede from enough. He's running on away. Logical arise. Everyone arise, but we're actually no longer. Wait a minute, logical. Okay, thought for a second stuff was gonna happen, but we're waiting for the right jump on, and he'll blink and toss away the Clockwork towards nothing. Clockwork survives. Tiny is dead. Exo from Jay. Radiant are in a strong spot so far. They'll move to enough. Will certainly bring down Centaur. Meanwhile, on the south side, Logical runs away from the fight. Says, you know what, guys? You have fed. I will leave. Goodbye, tower. You will die. Win there for Buff Buddies.
Yes. Yes, Badger. Yes. There's a distinct lack of interest from anyone, like, to buy a BKB this game, and it's a rather good BKB game for both teams' cores, Badger. You know what I mean? I'd say like DP doesn't need to buy it because they're so tanky and they're already holding all these items to like be tanky. You know what I mean? But like Ursa, okay, Ursa's got to key it up finally. Nice, we like to see that. Rubik should queue it up.
Avalanche toss
Tiny
back. Ursa is really far away from his team. This team hook shots forward. Tiny will self-fuel, so certainly end up dying, and okay then, dead Tiny.
I'm gonna be honest, that was a bit of a Tiny Airlines. He almost killed his team by tossing in the Ursa. I was about to make the reverse point of how like, oh, like you kind of need BKB in case the Tiny gets on you and bangs you. But it turns out that if you just play for the Ursa instead, you know, like it'll all be okay.
It's funny, you mentioned BKBs. Last game, everyone's buying BKBs. This game, yeah, there's just no BKBs until eventually heroes start affording them, but I'm looking around right now, and there aren't even any heroes buying BKB. I mean, Ursa is, but other than that...
Like, I just think that... I think if, for example, like if Timbersaw's not gonna buy a BKB, he should really buy a Lotus. Because he does, like, the DP silence, like, lasts a really long time. It's like 5 seconds even without the facet for it, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, I just think that, I think BKB would be a strong choice across the board for people here.
Good hook shot once again by Buffles. Problem is enough stampedes away. Bunions will slow him the TP. And now Tiny tosses Jay into the high ground. He'll get Avalanche stunned. He's half HP and has a bunch of teammates backing him up. That's one dead Centaur. He buys back instantly. Lift against Tiny, who now stuns Phoenix and Morphling. Radiant run away from the 5v5 team fight, away from that dire side high ground. In comes the look for the angle. He'll Have his blink canceled by the Crypt Swarm damage. Now Tail blinks in, Chakra Ring Giant, and Upstop. They want to kill the DP during the Exo right here, right now, and they'll do so. Now it's turning away time, but you have no DP, and Supernova will not get killed anytime soon. Ursa has been used up in the air. Supernova stuns, I believe, nobody. Wage steals Upstop, stunning 3, but it's already a dead Ursa. He lacks his team, and now he lacks his HP. All 3 cores in the ground. And the back and forth game once again remains very back and forth. Buff Buddies are now back to a 0 net worth lead.
Oh, yes. I think this is gonna be pretty good.
Elaborate.
They can they need to go try and fight with this Aegis really fast before Ursa gets BKB. Because Ursa trolled really hard by not getting BKB till now. Like this is like a really late BKB considering he's like super ahead. So I think if Dire like goes and fights them before the BKB, I think they're gonna be like super screwed on Radiant. Also, I think that Rubik like itemizing so aggressively is he with the items he chose to buy Badger, he couldn't really afford to make mistakes, and he's already like done it like 2 or 3 times. You know, okay, he's finally swapped his quick buy to BKB, but it's like really late now. Like, he's like really far away from it. Yeah.
Bottom lane, goodbye Centaur. Goodbye Centaur. Double damage around Ursa. I consider that a little bit overkill, but you know, overkill is better than underkill, I suppose.
Yeah. Ursa's gonna get to his BKB safely too, which I think is a bit of a mistake from Dire. I think if Dire is like if Dire is looking at the enemy heroes and they see 0 BKBs against Aegis Morphling and like Timbersaw, like they should just try to immediately send it at them right then. You know what I mean, Betcher? Because like they have a very strong power differential despite the gold difference. Does that make sense?
Well, it turns out you don't have any power if you're not together. We saw an isolated core die bot lane, now an isolated core die mid lane. 3 is greater than 1 if you're doing your math all the way at home. You can verify that one, I'm sure. But at this point, Ursa got BKB right now. It's on Courier.
Yeah, Rubik is still over 2k away, so they have that going for them. I do like the Doggers finally going back for the Hurricane Pike. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. What do you think about that, Badger?
I mean, it makes sense. He's getting a lot of items. The only problem is he's running out of slots. Notice he has 9
bro,
items.
Wade just picked up 3 bounty runes. It was actually a lot of gold.
It is a lot of gold. That is.
It was a lot of gold.
It's 1,200 gold for his team. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of gold.
Look at the items. He just lacks slots for his items. He has full backpack. He's a Crystallis in his stash right now.
Yes, Badger.
Let's logical sell some items here. Oh, sold the Null, sold the Wand, still holds the Quelling. Oh, there it is. He sold the Quelling Blade. He figured it out.
That was actually very perfectly mathed out. Great job, dog.
You think you did the math beforehand? Check the spreadsheet. Like this is the exact time to TP. Make sure
I have no
items,
clue.
or...
I mean, I wouldn't bother for like cause.
I mean, you wouldn't bother, but you're.
Well, like there's not really a point
though.
because like there's not really a point because like it's not like you're like they didn't go smoke and then run at them with the Aegis until just now. You know what I mean? Like if your team was planning to the moment you go back to base smoke and attack them, like you need to have the perfect like you know what I mean, Badger? But like when you just like walk to your woods and start hitting more creeps, it doesn't really matter what you had. You see what I'm saying? Like
that was pretty rapid. They moved relatively quickly.
It was
there.
like they smoked from like their out like it's not that it's not like they had to walk through a ward to like use that smoke. Like that's not the kind of smoke I'm thinking about.
Buffalo's tried so hard to not die there. Pressed all of his buttons other than dust. Did not survive. How do you survive there? I would have gotten pretty loud about it. It's like, wow, the huge escape by. Now he's dead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the angle was too. Maybe like somehow not get stunned, Dire miss spells, cog knockback, hook shots to creeps here, I guess.
Rubik
but...
performing really efficiently, by the way, Badger. Rubik is gonna have his BKB in 500 gold. Like he Okay, I mean I think both like it's an even net worth game. Both teams can win team fights, but I do think after this Aegis expires, Radiant should try to fight them. I think with their double 9 seconds, like they are way stronger. I mean there's just 0 BKBs on Dire. There are zero auras on Dire too. I think yeah. They don't have a pipe. They don't have a Greaves. They don't have you know what I mean. They have nothing.
Oh, wait, Jay, that's
And Shivas, I
unfortunate
guess.
timing on that TP. He was farming the Dire jungle, and now he is simply
Oh, he
farming
actually does have his
death.
BKB on spawn though.
So you're saying it was actually kind of worth it because he got the item that he needed.
Well, I wouldn't say worth it. I mean, like it's suboptimal to die there, but like it doesn't really matter is what I'm saying. Like uh, Radiant has 3 fresh BKBs. They and Dire's like trying to fight them. Like Radiant should just stand together and take a fight, and if they like all click their BKBs, they will win the fight. Like if they just cast their spells without like all getting chain comboed, like they will win. They or I shouldn't say will. They should win the fight. Do you know what I mean, Badger? Like Timber, like the only
They're
hero doing
fighting
right
right
click damage will be
now
Dog.
without Jay though, because Jay's still dead. It's chaos right now. It's already Bunyan's dead. We're seeing Wage get gone on the west side. Logical. Could not lock him down though. So that could have been a lot worse than it was. If a more important hero died than not Bunyan's, that could have been an absolute disaster. But sometimes you die on Bunyan's. Or Bunyan's.
Yeah. There's really NP should like go farm NP should go like farm in some really random spot and like cut waves in some really random spot. You know what I mean, Badger? Like there's not really ever a point in him for him to like die farming his own part of the woods because like he could just be cutting waves and like standing in really weird spots. Because if his team really wants him alive when the fight starts, the Aghanim's NP ulti is
Ooh,
really
wait a
good.
minute. Logical actually gets gone on. I'm not quite sure if they can kill him though, and they're not going to. Never mind. They're definitely not
I
killing
mean,
him.
Radiant should want to fight here.
We're seeing a fight in the river. They've already killed Centaur. They isolated him with Rubik and DP. Now Wage links over from the southeast to the northwest. He's lifted up the Timbersaw. Timbersaw's dead. That's 2 cores down. Windmaker away. Byhang tries to TP. He gets bashed. Probably would have died during a TP duration anyways. 3 dead. Only actually 2 of them have buyback. It's not too bad, but
It was pretty. Everything is kind of a low value kill for Radiant except for like if you look at the gold, by the way, like literally all of their gold is on Morphling. Like the Morphling is 8k
well,
more
they're
gold.
going
than the
on
next hero
Morphling
this
though.
game.
He's silenced. His man is on cooldown. He's dead. The high value kill has been obtained, and he's got
There's
no
no buyback.
buyback.
Yeah, this should just be like a set of racks. If Dire was like watching Morph's items, they should know he doesn't have buyback as well, by the way, because this data list is really fresh. I don't know if Radiant was watching Dire's items, but if they were, they should know that 100% Morphling does not have buyback. Like, he literally just got this data list like super recently. You know what I mean, Badger?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, but I am overwhelmed by the auditory and visual scene that is going on at the Dire base right now. They're definitely trying to hold. Are they going to respect the? They're going to respect the potential buyback, even though again you mentioned now potentially they could know there's no buyback. Instead, they're wait a minute. This is a bold gambit. They're going for a kill on Furion instead. Blink, Shiva's hoof stomp. Defensive sprout has been used, but Furion certainly will end up dying. We're seeing a bit of a defensive maneuver going on, but it's a little bit too late. At this point, they'll maybe kill Camel, but he's a little bit too tanky. Problem is, Hookshot is there, locking him down. In comes everything. Phoenix gets bashed and brought down. Furion buys back. Wage BKB's hang has lifted up by Wage. Wage will attempt to bring him down. Camel is locked in the trees. Now kills the trees. A bit ironic on that one, I do suppose. And now at this point, it's runaway time. Timbersaw's very low. They're trying to burst him down, but he has too many timber chains, too much HP, and now it's enough and end planer looking for the angle, looking at their vision. They see very little. Now see Ursa running forward, now run away, and they have bought time for Big Dog Logical to respawn into the game. No racks were grabbed, shockingly, and instead it's a buyback used by Furion. Wild stuff there.
They got a lot of kills for it and got a tier 2. I do think they would have been better had they just stuck mid and taken a Rax. It would give them more map pressure before next Aegis, which is like I think more useful than what than what they got out of this. But it's overall like it still goes well for Radiant. NP is a really good hero at using dieback and then not or using buyback and then not like NP could just sit in his base if you wanted Badger and just wait to show up to any fight. You know what I mean? And like give absolutely zero risk of dieback. I don't think he will do that, but I'm just saying like
He could.
if he wanted to, he could just opt to not interact until the team fight, click ultimate, and then go TP to some other place and start pushing it with his E, and like it'd be pretty valuable.
I do want to point out, by the way, there still has not been a 1-for-1 Wisdom Rune trade this entire game. I mentioned it at minute 21. At minute 28, it was both runes, 1 J, 1 Bunions. And now minute 35, it happened again! Is this the first time it's ever happened in a Dota game where it's been 5-2-0 bounty rune trades? It probably isn't, actually. It can't be that rare, but... that is just...
Yeah.
mathematically improbable. Let's put it that way. I'm a big probability guy. Both teams are smoked up, by the way. This
Can
could
you
be
give me an
game
estimated
decided
probability
fight.
of it?
I don't know, 0.02% perhaps, maybe 1 in 5,000. Regardless, both teams are smoked up right now. Tiny, that's what you're looking at right now. That's your big initiator, as far as I can tell. Either him or enough. Problem is, Radiant are way to the east, and Dire are pinging it. They are aware. Smokes have broken. Buffles looks for a hook shot, runs into Camel. Logical hits. In comes Karate, bashing Logical, but he Mantis. Stampede's been used. Supernova on the floor. Radiant hit it. They're trying to kill it. They will kill it. Karan gets the kill. Camel is mauling on around, fighting, looking to survive. He's inside the trees. He'll now kill the piece, but he's silenced again. He'll use himself. Karan's hitting. Hook shot again. Dire collapse. Camel to fall. Triple kill for Jay. That's a full 5-man wipe. And Buff Buddies will head into Roshan, and they are in a strong position to bring it on to a 1-1 tie for a game 3 now.
Yeah, bro, this game is over. I don't know. I mean, actually, no. Dog could go back for a rapier and try to one-bang everyone that's not Ursa and then kill the Ursa. Thatcher, I think Dog needs to queue up rapier. What are your thoughts on that?
I like rapier. I mean, literally every game I advocate for rapier and you're behind, so...
That's perfect, Badger.
I stand with you. Who is not a buyback? We're no more fleeing no Centaur. I guess there's enough time to have a 5v5 defense, but you have a free Ags on Ursa. You have a free Ags on Ursa.
Yeah.
And what does Dota Plus say? Dota Plus surprisingly only a 90% chance to win. I thought it'd be higher than that.
I think Dire needs one. I think they need to start the team fight in one very specific way. I think they need to smoke. They need to have a good ward, and when they show, let's say, 2 or 3 heroes on it, they need to stun them and egg, and then pray to God that the Ursa is not able to reach them, or that he is. Well, now he's an egg that's kind of doomed, but like he has to put the egg somewhere where like Ursa can't reach it. And you know what I mean? Like I think that's the only way they win a team fight, like reasonably.
So talking about an outplay, even if perhaps misplay positioning wise from the Buff Buddies side. It's possible, but it is improbable.
Yeah, just tough.
Sometimes, you know, great moments in Dota, they are built from improbabilities, you know.
Well, I think great moments in any like sport or competitive event are always built on comebacks, like 99% of the time.
It's not just about the comeback. It's more about how you get the comeback. You know, you think about I don't know. Let's just say 2016 World Series, 2016 NBA Finals. Those are 3. I mean, Atlanta Falcons 28-3 disaster. Those are great moments because they were just, how do you throw these leads?
Yeah. I know who wouldn't throw leads if I played with them.
We almost had it in hockey this year, but the Florida Panthers managed to stop throwing things away at the very last minutes.
Good for them.
If you weren't watching, they were up 3-0 in a best of 7, and they got brought to a 3-3 tie. They almost blew it. If they blew it, I would have laughed hilariously. I think Canada really needed that win, but what can you do sometimes?
Alas, Badger, alas.
Alas. So we have how much time on Aegis? We've already wasted half the Aegis timer, and there are mostly buildings alive. Mid lane, Hang gets gone on, aka NPL, aka N-Plane. Hoof stomp against Ursa. Ursa still half HP, top secret. Hook shot in, finds Logical, but he gets Yuled up by the Windmaker of Tiny. Everyone's fine. Spells have been wasted. And everyone's fine. Okay then. So we'll wait for cooldowns, we'll go back in again. I'm watching, because Radiant have all their spells basically. I'm just waiting right now for them to go in again. Only problem is, it is not easy to just walk up slowly high ground.
I think it kind of is easy for DP to walk up and ult it against Dire, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really. I actually think DP could just walk up and ult, but I understand being frightened of going high ground because that is the easiest place to throw in Dota. But if you look at DP Badger, they have like 1,000,000 armor. They have 25 armor. They have.
Excuse me, sir. It's 24 armor, not 25 armor.
Whatever. Okay, they have 24 armor. They have 63% magic resist. They have a dispel. They have a BKB that's 8 seconds.
And we have a hook shot forward to find the Tiny. That's what we were waiting for. It's Wind Waker against Yule's action, though. Tiny gets bashed by Karan. In comes enough. Stunning 2 in the backlines. Exo from Jay. Karan's getting kited, but he still has 2 lives. Supernova on the floor. Exo still active. Sunray active. Karan will barely survive. Gets lifted away by Wage. Blink of Lodge looking for Chico. Could not do so. Now Dire. Once again, retreat. Wage blinks in. The stolen toss. Finding Camel Farmer. Stampede from enough. Everyone's still alive somehow. Wade is the first after the fight. Karan has 30 seconds of 2 lives. Hoof stomp on 3 from enough. In comes Rubik buying back into the fight. So is Camel keeping in as well. Karan loses 1 life. He now returns full HP, big KP, ready to go. But they're playing in a 5v5 again. The T3's finally down. Jay's hitting buildings. Range Racks half HP. But the melees are fine. And the Range Racks are still alive. The game states stay shockingly similar after that fight. And we're in for a long one, it appears.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a. I want to say that was a pretty nice hold by Dire, but I do think. I think it was a combination of Dire doing a good job on base defense and Radiant just like, kind of. It was a little flabbergasted of a.
Oh, another bash! Another bash! Another bash! He's so dead on Centaur! Hook shot in against Phoenix! He has nothing to work with! He's lifted up and brought down! Centaur buys back self-fuels from Phoenix! Dire trying to fight desperately! This could be an absolute disaster! Jay's running forward! Silence against Timbersaw! He stands his ground! Enough! Bought back, I think I already mentioned that, but again, that's 2 dead, 1 buyback expended. And there's still so much pressure right now being brought in through these lanes. There's no Racks dead still. Correction, Range Racks actually died at some point in that fight. Brought down by Bundy, apparently who was ratting it during the more important action bottom lane. The Equilibrium's still pretty fine right now.
Yeah.
One more blink in, looking for a bash, looking for a lift from Rubik. Camel's brought in. Those self-fuels trying to get away, but there's just too much damage. Phoenix buys that. Timbersaw notably has no buyback. Stampede from enough, but this might be too late. Wage now said he has a dieback. It's a 4v4. Neither hero will return. Jay is Exo. Logical gets silenced, gets rooted. Supernova on the floor. Radiant try to kill it. It's half HP. That'll be a huge stun. Hitting 3. Ursa tries to fight. He's been stunned. Wait for him by Logical. Jay solo. Simon the fall. The trade for Jay. Karan's TP has been canceled. He has been caught. He has been tossed. Logical's hitting. How do you fight water? You are a bear and you are dead. All 3 cores down.
Rapier.
He's 5,000 gold. He's ready to buy a rapier.
Badger, he can sell treads, get like 200 more. Or no, he could just sell treads and have it.
See, Logical's actually kind of a conservative player. He might not go for it.
No, I don't think he will. But if he did, I would be so happy.
I would be too. I don't think he will.
I don't know if
He's buying Satanic.
Yeah. I was gonna say dogs could eat the Ags, by the way, and it's pretty good if you're actually like good at like using it. But I don't know if dog has used it much. It's kind of funny how his Ags is like basically his old ultimate. You know what I mean, Badger? By the way.
Uh huh.
Do you remember when this was
Oh,
just
yeah.
his ultimate?
I played a lot of old Morphling. Ever since the rework happened, I stopped playing Morphling. But old Morphling, that was my dog.
Yeah, old Morphling was really fun. I actually do think new Morphling is cooler though, to be honest,
Oh,
Badger.
no doubt about it. But
Yeah. Getting to play as other heroes. God, remember Badger? Remember the days of Morphling Shaker? Oh my god,
those were bad days.
those were good days for me.
Those were bad days for players who had honor.
Nah, bro, nah. They should have just clicked the other stuns. You stunned, bro.
That's a lot easier said than done.
Well, to be fair, okay, that also was in a time where Morphling was like even like worse level 1, and you know what I mean? Like he was like. Do you remember how how old
I do.
attribute shift used to work?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like
Very, very
like-
slow shift. Yeah.
like level 1, you would gain like 20 HP like every
Mhm.
I don't know, like second and a half, bro, or something. It was like
It was.
it was
You,
like
you
really-
had to do it in the fountain, and basically, if you ever strength
Yeah.
morph, you weren't morphing back to Agi.
yeah, and then you would get level 3, you would get level 2, and like you don't care really, to be honest, like whatever, you take whatever shit spell, and then at level 3 you would get the second point in attribute shift, and you would be like a real hero.
It was still
used to be
back
the
then.
morph-
It was still super slow shift rate until level 4 morph. Like, level 4 morph like double level 3 morph or something like that. It was kind of wild.
Yeah, but it like for a long time I would say that like Morphling was like a hero who like basically like didn't actually like play the like he was like complete dog water until like level 3. And then at level 3 he became an actual hero, and then at level 7 he became incredibly, you know what I mean? Like
I was there. I was playing morph back then, brother. I was there.
well no, I'm saying like even past when you stopped playing Morph, like that was kind of his curve for like a very long
Smoke's been
time.
broken. And Planer jumps in, avalanching
10
against
years.
2. Camel has been stunned. They're inside the cogs again! They're in the cogs again! That's not where you want to be trapped! Camel is dead. No buyback. Supernova will end up barely dying. 2 down. Neither a buyback. Morphling will try his hardest. He's killed Buffles. He'll Hurricane Pike away, but he's again caught by Wage. Lifted towards Karan. Is there a batch? Yes, there is! He'll waveform. He'll TP. Will it work? It barely does. Over to Bunions. He's now been caught with enough. Enough has double edge for the kill if he's no longer stunned, but he's been stunned by Wage. And Planner is low. Enough is low. Dire collapsing. Correction. They already collapsed. It's a Windmaker again, this time from Centaur to the south side. But Wade says no. I too have mobility's tools. I'll stun you and kill you. 3 dead. None have buyback. Notably Centaur dead for 2 whole minutes. Roshan just respawned as well. Perhaps End Planer will go for a bit of miracle play. Some kind of Roshan steal, but this is a very rough spot to be in. Look to cut the wave instead.
The DP literally just bought out like a full Ags full Shivas basically, and now they're gonna get an Ags from Roshan. The DP just like gains so much effective net worth, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
good for them.
This is our 4th Roshan of the game. Once again going to the Radiant side, but I believe the 3rd time in the game. Morphling almost got it! He almost got it! But now he is so screwed! Its BKB is on cooldown. He has been whistle bladed by Karan. He'll waveform to the east side. Has BKB in 3. Manta now. But how do you live when you're just busy being stunned this much? He'll try to BKB, but he has no mana to TP. He cannot escape. Logical is dead. But notably, he does have buyback. Had he have stolen some of that stuff there, that would have been pretty fantastic. But instead, he just died.
Yeah.
Hook shot again from Buffles! He does it again! He's got Camel Farmer! And now Camel Farmer is being farmed! He'll try to get away! Wind Waker or Yule Scepter, there's something in the air! Once again, another Wind Waker, whatever, he's brought down again! Up in the air to Cyclone, brought down to the grave! Avalanche away by NPL, his blink is canceled for 2 more seconds! He'll blink to the northwest side, trying to get away. Buffles has hook shot him 4. He might catch him again. DB in by Bunions. And Planer, he'll force staff to the west. Hook shot forward does not hit thanks to the Wild Wing Ripper tanking that one. But there's more spells, there's more TPs. The Sprout, the Hex, the Vessel, another Wind Waker. He's trying to get away when he's caught again by, I believe, a stolen avalanche or something like that. He'll Lotus Orb, he's trying to survive. They're putting in so much effort. Meanwhile, the Dire base, buybacks are here. Morphling is back in the game, enough. Camel Farmer, they're going for Jay, they're going for Karan, but Karan is fighting and has 2 lives. And the big KB, he's just too powerful perhaps. Supernova has stunned, but Radiant are absolutely fine. There have been 3 buybacks committed, and buildings are crumbling in all 3 lanes. Correction, in 2 lanes. But somehow, some way, they've all survived. The melees are alive mid, the tower is alive bottom, the racks are alive top. It's the miracle of the dire defense right now. They're somehow still holding. How are they still holding
Game
it?
three.
How are they still holding? Look at these HPs. How is everything alive?
I mean, they all bought back and then Radiant kind of like waddled away. You know, I don't know. That's what it's kind of like snooze, you know, Badger. We're saying they're holding, but like they use like every buyback basically, and they're stuck in their bait. You know what I mean? Like
But
it's
they've
like
continued the game. The game continues.
that's true, Badger. That is factually
The
accurate.
alternative is the game being lost. Now, certainly
What?
possible there. It took some real maneuvering to not lose the video game.
Honestly, I feel like Radiant could just walk forward and end this like at any point now. But like, I get what you're saying, Badger. I appreciate.
We're going for Jay. That's a very hard kill to get. Hookshot stuns to Whistleblade against Tiny. Tiny, if he dies, that'll be a dieback. He's being Yule sceptered by a teammate, Windbreaker by himself, and brought down once again. That is a dieback there for 2 minutes. Logical gets bashed again. He's trying to fight. Wait for him to the west side, looking for Wage. Wage is BKB. They're focusing the Rubik. Rubik will end up going down, but he has a buyback. And now Logical is forced to Manta. He'll Satanic. He'll wait for him towards Buffles. Buffles is dead, but also has buyback. Rubik and Clockwork will return to the fight very soon. Meanwhile, Bunions looks to kill Simon. Simon will end up dying barely on the east side. Wait for him in by Logical. Looking to avenge him. He'll hex the Furion. Furion is dead, but also still has buyback. Radiant have 5. Dire only have 3. And make that 2. Centaur is dead. He'll buyback. Simon just got his buyback. He'll now return, but it's still a 3v5. Logical has been hexed. He's been vesseled. He'll get brought down, and he has no buyback. Supernova will not end up dying, but Dire's base most certainly will. Phoenix dive, Icarus dive away, gets Simon back to his fountain, but he knows the inevitable. The GG is called, and we're headed to a winner-take-all game number 3.
Hello, Badger.
NPC Dota, Bad Guys Tower 4, top. Just high-fived. That's my thoughts. Okay.
All right, Badger. Are we?
We're cutting to a break. I need to breathe. I need to recover from that
All
one.
right,
You got any?
Tell me when we're on break.
I gotta get to a break right now. My name's Badger, joined by former DPC player /C Line 62. We'll see you for game 3 of Yeah We Smile Per Hour Cell versus Buff Buddies in a few minutes. Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for the third and final game of the League of Lads Losers Finals for, well, League of Lads Plus Season 3 Losers Finals, I should say. Game 1 was an absolute slaughter in favor of Yeah We Smile per hour so, but Game 2, Buff Buddies brought it back. It took them a while, but it was a dominant win in the end. And you know what that means? We are brought to the third and final game. I'm once again joined by former DBC player 10,000 MR Salacious Sea Lion 62, aka Southland Sarah 37, aka Strawberry Shark, aka Rook, aka Jim. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for a hype Game 3. Game 3s are always hype. Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty surprised about certain um, I feel like I think Dire should ban the Rubik because they saw it first. Wasn't that first pick last game or no?
I forget if it was 8 pick or 9. I think it was 9 pick because they wanted tiny. It was
Okay.
8 pick tiny, 9 pick
Oh yeah,
Rubik.
you're right. And I guess that trade's kind of okay, but I thought the Rubik put in a decent amount of work. I mean, maybe they have some answer and maybe they have some different idea of how to deal with in this game, but
All right, their answer is
yeah.
banning him and then grabbing tiny anyways. Which means
All right, good for them,
who
bro.
got through the ban phase then that wasn't through before? There has to be somebody, right? Mathematically speaking, there has to be a hero that got through that didn't last game.
Yes.
10 seconds remaining.
Like, I'm doing the math on this. It has to be true. That's the one. Shadow Fiends. We found the hero. Shadow Fiends.
That's hype Badger.
So this hero got first phase bans in game 2. Was the 4 ban. Got first phase banned in game 1. It was the 6 ban. So this is the first time we've seen Shadow Fiend. To correct me if I'm wrong. You're obviously a lot more in tune with these things than I am.
Do you know where these guys play? I don't I can go click on Quran, but I feel like I don't see him pick up that much. I feel like it's gonna be the mid for sure.
All right, so I've checked Karan's Dota buff. He has got 177 games on Shadow Fiend, including 2. Literally, the last game before his warm-up game he played before this, he was playing Shadow Fiend. So
Did he play it? Did he play pause 1? It looks like
he played it pause 1, yeah.
looks like he did. All right.
So I'm sure
I'm not
Wage can play it, right? Surely Wage can play Shadow.
No.
Yeah, it's his most played hero. He can play Shadow Fiend. So
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty like I feel like it would be Wage. I feel like they'd give it to Wage, but whether I don't actually know what they're gonna do. You know, that's between you and God, Badger.
actually, it's more between Wage and Karan, but they have 24 picks, so they can just say, you know what? We'll pick SF. We'll leave a core for 24, and they'd have this huge draft advantage because of that.
Amen, Badger. Amen.
I will say this SF hero is again, I was saying it before earlier. This hero is still really good, right?
Yeah, I would assume it's still good. I'm not gonna speak too confidently since like I don't know, new patch, you know, but I would assume it's still good. Like it's not. I don't see any reason why it would be bad. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure. I mean, I didn't actually read the Shadow Fiend part of the patch notes, but surely they nerfed the hero because he was top tier before the patch. So surely
this
they
is
nerfed
accurate.
him. But you know, we've seen a number of these heroes that have been selected this series got nerfed. I know Sven got nerfed, Rubik got nerfed, Tiny got nerfed. They're still being picked, so
Yes.
5 seconds.
so we shall see. I know Nyx got
True.
nerfed. He's been first banned every game. Not even allowed to get
I
picked.
also I think notably that this like the like I think like both teams will. I know at least Radiant. I'm pretty sure on Dire too, but I know Radiant like they played a lot like Bionis has a lot of Knicks games, like a lot of them. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure.
Oh, he
Doesn't he?
does. He plays it uncomfortable. I mean, there's a lot of big Knicks players and lads, but Bunny's certainly one
And
of
also
them.
like I think playing against Invis stuff is just harder the lower people really hate playing against Invis stuff, me included. Like you know what I mean? Like Invis stuff is really annoying, and Nyx is literally like Invis one shot entire game. So like you know it's not very like even if it wasn't OP, I think people would still ban it because who wants to play against it, right?
I remember back when Nyx was kind of bad, Acid Rain was still like first facing it every game, and people were like, yeah, you know what? You don't want to play against it. We're just gonna ban it. Speaking of actual
Yeah.
heroes that have not been banned, have been picked though. I mean, bans first: Sven, Ember, Disruptor, Bounty Hunter, Lena, Nyx Assassin, Beastmaster, Rubik, Clockwork, Ursa, and then other than the SF from the Tiny, you see a Tusk 13 pick who has been banned out at least once, maybe twice this series, and then 14-15 Jakiro DP. So Got a lot of repeat heroes, but a couple of newcomers. SF, Tusk, Jakiro.
Yep, Mao, as some might say, legally speaking.
That-
Or should I say beagly speaking, Badger?
those are indeed words you have used in the past and words you will continue to use. I believe that.
They're good words, Badger. They're good words.
Radiant team
It's one of
Let's
those
see.
things where
Oh, Doom.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Doombringer. Okay.
Okay, I want to say right now, I really hope that the Doom takes the impending Doom facet that makes it last longer. I don't even know if it's good, but I used it one time. I played one game with it, and I thought it was extremely fun and funny to watch. So I really hope Doom takes that facet. And I'm glad they picked Doom. Also, Doom is notably very good against DP. You Doom DP, she does not heal, she does not sustain, she dies. Very, very, very simple counter, you know?
I,
Nothing complicated, just very, very simple counter right there.
you know who I hope is
So
here
I
right
like that.
now watching the stream, Jim?
Who?
I hope Filsky is here. This dude is like the Doom guy. He is the Doom guy. Like, he is just has like the $100 guitar cosmetic for Doom. I think it's expensive. I don't know how expensive it is, but like he is Mr. Doombringer. So if he's not in chat, someone ping him on Discord. Like, guys, Doombringer picked.
I like Doombringer.
Ooh, Enigma as well. Exciting heroes in the Dota. I mean, radio have these exciting heroes. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to call it. I don't care. They renamed them like 11 years ago. I still call him Doombringer.
That's fine, Badger. That's perfect.
I
I actually would have left.
like
I would have left the cast if you didn't call him Doombringer. So it's really good you decided to keep calling him Doombringer. I think.
It differentiates the ability Doom from the bringer of it, Doombringer. You know,
Yes, Badger. I'm with you 100%.
like when you say the old name, it almost harkens back to the days of buying like Vanguard Radiance on Doombringer. If you watched like the TI1 finals, a lot of Vanguard Radiance Doombringer in that one.
Yeah. Dude, Vanguard Radiance was really fun on Doom. Like that was actually like really fun, by the way, back then.
Yeah, I tried it more recently. Didn't go all too well, but that's Dota 2 for you nowadays.
I think there could be some games for it, honestly. It's not the worst thing I heard of. I've seen Dooms by Radiance against like PL and stuff when their team doesn't have anyone to build it, etc.
You're factually correct, but I feel like if you're in a scenario, then you've probably drafted wrong if you let that happen. Or it's like if your best answer to PL is Doom Radiance, you've probably lost.
Well,
the
no,
game
no, no.
already.
But like it could be a thing where like you have like a Morphling who like he's gonna kill the rest of the team, so you just need someone to like deal with PL for like a bit until like the more you know what I mean. It's not. I've seen times where I don't think like you're fucked on draft because you know because Doom with like Shiva's Radiance and like his W is like actually pretty decent against Illusion Heroes. I won't say he's like amazing, but like he's pretty good. He's I would say he's underrated, Badger. You know what I mean?
And you want a hero who's good against illusions? That guy right there, Underlord. Formerly known as Pit Lord, but Underlord. That hero, that's got some AoE root. Unless they've reworked him again, but AoE roots, AoE nuke, good old aura against him. He's ready to go.
That's perfect, Badger.
They didn't rework him again, did they?
Not as far as I'm aware. I mean, maybe, and we just don't, I'm not aware of it. I don't know.
All right, cool.
I don't think so though.
I don't remember the last time I've either seen this hero in my games or casted this hero, so it's been a little while.
That's fair. Hmm.
A lot of carries getting banned out. Seems
I have
like
to I have to take a piss really bad, Badger. I'm gonna go AFK for like a minute, Beer Bay.
okay, I'll be here then. Seems like Logical is under the impression it's an SF mid rather than SF carry. He's banned out a Lifestealer. If he bans out a hero like say Monkey King rather than the mid laner, we'll confirm 100% like yeah, they're confident it's SF mid.
5 seconds remaining.
There is a very limited reserve time left for the Radiant side. Speaking of Radiant, they banned out some carries as well. Banned out the Gyro, banned out the Dusa. Don't want a ranged carry to sort of bother this this Doom Enigma lane. Clearly, Gyrocopter is a hero who has been picked under previous patches to, you know, hit the offlaner and clear the Eidolons sort of stuff. We have a minute reserve time for Big Logical. He's contemplating. He is indeed contemplating. I'm actually curious. So, I don't know why sometimes like the nicknames in Dota don't apply. Like I have a Jay on my friends list. I nicknamed him Jay because I mean I like to nickname players on my friends list. But even though I've nicknamed him Jay, it still has him under daydreaming. So he's Jay in game and he's Jay on the friends list, but it's daydreaming in between those two things. And I'm not quite sure how that happened. So Void banned out. Whoa, is that logical? Doing a bit of a Yuma cosplay? Magnus playing the carry? Or perhaps is it Magnus mid DP carry? It could be either one. I hope it's Magnus carry. That sounds more interesting, to be honest, but wow, I'm excited either way. That is not the pick I expected. I think it's actually quite good this game. You have a very useful BKB piercing disable. You have hypothetically some decent tools in lane against this Enigma. I'm fascinated by this. And the response is Slarku. I'm a little. I mean, if I was personally playing carry there, I would probably prefer the Monkey King over to Slark. But again, Slark has a. Whoa, it's Underlord carry! Whoa! So it's Underlord carry, Magnus off lane, DP mid lane. Apparently, I am not up on the Underlord tech. Either that or Logical is simply one step ahead of the meta, which has happened numerous times, i.e. Lina carry. I know Logical is big ahead of the meta on Lina carry, as an example, but wow. So this is definitely two very different styles of carries. You have this very maneuverable, very, in and out sort of, I like to use sort of like cross-game terms. It's sort of an assassin hero where you're going to zip in, zip out, play this maneuverable style. You don't want to necessarily man fight until you have the items and the essence shift stacks. Versus Underlord, who is very interested in just being in the middle of these team fights and almost playing this offlaner sort of role where it's like, yeah, I'm big, I'm strong, I have an empower from my Magnus, please fight me. Interact with my hero, you're not going to have fun. I love these drafts. I think the Radiant draft might be slightly better, but I'm not really a draft expert, so it could go either way, or maybe it could go only one way. Honestly, prefer not having the answer in this case. It's funny though. I've been on these situations before where it's like we're analyzing the draft, and I have like these. I remember I was casting Lads Finals, and my analysts had like 20,000 combined in MR. And they were like, yeah, it's Team A that's going to win for smart reason A and smart reason B and smart reason C. And I'm like, yeah, I think Team B is going to win because vibes. Team B won the game, so. Sometimes you never know with Dota sometimes. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 3 of the Elite Lads Plus Season 3 Losers Bracket Finals. We are at a 1-1 tie, as you would expect in a Game 3 and a BO3. Buff Buddies just won game number 2. Of course, the Yeah We Smile Per Hour So side won game number 1. My name is Badger. I will be joined by Slash C-62, aka Rook, aka Jim. Whenever he's back from the bathroom. Radiant are in the Dire Jungle as 5 looking at Dire Vision. They actually are aware. They see only Tusk, so that actually might bait them in if they only see Tusk. Say, oh, it's only Tusk looking to grab the rune. But instead, they're doubling kind of back. So they don't see Slark. So they know something's up. They know Shiro's Enigma Slark here. But they're doubling back on 3. They've moved 3 over here. This is some fascinating pre-horn movement going on. Unfortunately, though, you have Tiny at the bottom lane, so it should be a free rune here. Despite the movements, it'll end up being a 2-2 trade. I do want to point out that I will be watching the minute 7 Wisdom Rune intently because last game it was a lot of sniping, so we may once again see sniping. You certainly have the heroes to attempt it. We saw of course, the Furion TPs last game coming in clutch there. Now you have the Fiend's Gate to again have a bit of a similar effect, though a little more obvious when you Fiend's Gate versus the Furion TP. We have DP SF. I'm sure it's a good lane for SF. I'm not entirely like sort of cerebrally sure why, but it just feels kind of good for SF. Bottom lane, it's Slark and Enigma taking on a Magnus and Tiny. The Eidolons, I'm guessing, will be a bit of an issue until you have some more levels. Level probably 3 on Tiny. Definitely level 3 on show on Magnus. I mean, actually, maybe even level 4, because Magnus probably has got a point in Skewer in this lane at some point, before he got to the point. At least it's a second point in Shockwave. Or even a point in the in the Empower. We'll see. Then top lane, Tusk Doombringer taking on Underlord Jakiro. I have never seen this lane before in my life. I'm not quite sure how it'll go, but seems like Underlord and Jakiro should be a-okay to play the Dota 2 in this lane. Yeah, Jay is not having fun right now. He actually may go down. He's got the stick. He'll pop it. And the ice shards almost saved him. But again, the Jakiro went over the wall into Jay's heart, piercing him there for first blood. Simon, a.k.a. legendary twitch.tv/smilesperhour himself, Simon, secures the first blood. Slightly off topic, but I actually knew... I knew the Twitch handle Smiles Per Hour before I knew it was Simon. Bottom lane, enough's fine. Thanks, Malphus. But I remember he was in the Beyond Summit Twitch chat whenever I was adminning those days. And he was always in there with this copy pasta of please do not chat unless you're high MMR, parentheses 2.5k MMR plus. I always loved that copy pasta. And it baited so many reactions. And then I learned, oh, it's him. It's like, oh, I know this guy. I like this guy already. So, bottom lane, pounce in by Karan. Bunions is low enough. Looks for the skewer forward, but misses a skewer forward! I don't think it's a kill anyways, but regardless, an unfortunate miss there. Bunyan survives. The kill bounty is split, so now 1-1 on the board. Huh. Am I allowed to recant my statements at the mid lane earlier? Because I forget the exact words, but I was pretty confident SF would win this lane. And SF just died. Technically, he's still ahead in last hits, but that is not the death you would ideally want there if you were Wage playing a hero like playing a hero like Shadow Fiend. So before you look at what happens, if you had to guess who would win a lane, if the SF player is like 8.5k and the DD player is like 6k, you would guess SF to win the lane, right?
Sure, yeah.
Well, he's died, sold at DP, so.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes you just die.
People, I've never played mid against Camel Harmer, but people always tell me he's like super rigged.
And again, there are times when like lower skilled players just solo kill better skilled players. I mean, there's the famous screenshot of me solo killing DKMP. I also solo killed Cole in lane. That guy's way better than me. So sometimes the bad mid laners can just solo kill better players.
Sure. Well, I'm just saying that I always hear people always tell me that Camel Farmer is like giga rigged.
I wouldn't say giga, but he's
because I don't actually, because I don't think this is like a good matchup for SF. This is probably like DB is probably one of the best heroes you can play bid against it.
Yeah. Okay. I did not know that. I'm not a real expert of the middle lane, to be honest.
Well, they have a really safe nuke to last hit with. SF does a lot of burst, but if he doesn't kill you, you can just Spirit Siphon a creep. Or you can just trade back on him and not let him get a triple raid stack going. Also, if you think about it, this new facet that prevents you from getting one banged on DP is even more useful against SF, right? Like,
I see. Top lane logical gets gone on. Problem is he's extremely tanky. They used everything and they did. I mean, it did some damage, but he's still alive. So.
Yeah.
If you don't kill him now, you're just never going to kill him. He's got the atrophy aura.
Bro, when did they pick Slark? This looks like a pretty hard Slark game. They have a lot of
24.
Like, I'm gonna say, like, Slark's lane should be good. Like, it should be pretty easy. He's Slark into Magnus Tiny, double melee, and he has a Enigma. But I feel like in the game it'll be kind of hard for Slark.
I remember I personally would probably prefer Monkey King in that spot. I said that in the draft, but even like an MK probably suffers from many of the same problems as Slark. Bottom lane,
No,
counts
I'd say
hits.
Slark.
Skewer though. Oh boy, Enough's taking so much damage.
I would have liked Monkey King a lot
He
more
just,
than a Slark
mid
here.
lane, Wage ends up killing end planer before dying to kill him. Back to the bottom lane, Enough's still being took. So, you were saying before that?
I would have preferred a Monkey King over a Slark too, for sure. Yeah.
It is
So I was
non-stop
just agreeing with
action.
you.
There's just non-stop action. Now it's top lane where Simon goes down to Jay, but look at the TP in. Avalanche on 2. That's already a dead Doombringer. That's a dead Tusk. A double kill for Tiny, who is just... He's been in all 3 lanes so far this game. He's Mr. Globetrotter.
That's hype, Badger. That's hype. Yeah. Camel Farmer, holding 2 skill points right now, actually. He's level 7, and he's like holding 2 skill points. That's kind of a bit wacky.
He's
I kind of like it
contemplating.
though. He's like, oh, I could take silence and ult and run him down. I could, I actually kind of like it here.
He's,
Wage gets
he's
regen
still
rune.
holding the skill points. He is not skill. Okay, he's now skilled the 4th point. And he's got 4020 skill build. He's still holding.
Yeah, I kind of like it. Wage did get a really good rune. He got a regen, so Wage right now could farm like a million jungle creeps, and yeah. I kind of hope that's what he chooses to go do, help his game out a bit. I will say that like it was nice Camel Farmer got those kills and good stuff and all, but I think Shadow Fiend is like really good at just hitting the woods and being very like like if you're not actively ganking the Shadow Fiend, just killing him in lane actually like is not going to do that much. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Yeah, especially getting the regen rune. Getting the regen rune is just so unbelievably good for his farming. He's just casting all of these raises for free.
Like if you like rank the mid laners that are being played right now, like best to worst regen rune carriers, that stuff's like it's probably number 2, right, behind Storm. He's a really good carrier.
Yeah, I mean probably the Shrek is still better too.
Is he really played anymore though? Oh, hold that fuck! He's being gone on by Campbell and NPL. Tries to Requiem, but there's no Requiem. Simply death.
Great. That was a great job by the Tiny, like positioning and holding his stuns appropriately. That was very well done by them. Yeah, it was really good. I guess Leshrac isn't the most popular right now, but I was just more thinking about like mids you could see in a game, and I don't think Leshrac is like so dead that you would never see him.
That's fair. And what we're not going to see anymore is the thing because he's been brought down by Enough and Endblade. Kind of a bad segue actually, but regardless. Been a lot of brawling, and this is why they first picked Tiny both games. 8-pick Tiny game 2, 8-pick Tiny game 1, first ban Tiny game, or that's the game 3, first ban Tiny. Game
I
1.
will say that Jay is actually he has the gluttony facet, you know what I mean, and he had like the 2 charges Q and he's maxing Q. So, while this network lead is like 3K very good for right now, they got some good kills on SF. They do have very good heroes at recovering like a network lead like this. So it's gonna be about how they actually leverage their advantage to like pull off ganks and cut off farm and stuff. You know what I mean?
They're going in for Logical. The Logical is kind of winning this brawl. His team has arrived. This could be a disaster. Ice Path ends up not stunning one, only stuns the other, but it's certainly going to be a dead J Doom. Buffles barely gets away.
Yeah, that gank I feel like would be a pretty good idea if Doom was maxing W, but like with Doom maxing Q, you kind of have to just leave him alone. Like when he doesn't have ulti, like he actually does nothing because he has all of his points in Q, which is not necessarily even bad, but just you know what I mean. Like, I think it's a play that actually would work a lot of the time, Badger, but he didn't realize. Maybe he didn't check or he didn't realize like how much mid damage Doom is missing without his W and. Yeah.
And if it was a normal carry and not Underlord. Mid lane, Campbell's going on in.
Well.
Both teams arrive with supports. And both teams mutually agree to say, you know what? No one's going to die. Let's go farm creeps instead. Well, seems like End Planer is running into a very tough spot. He's inside the Ice Shard, so Avalanche quite nicely. Snowball gets Tusk towards the Tiny. Wage has medium range into long range raise. Buffle secures the last hit. Now 4 kills for Buff Buddies, but again, we mentioned the network situation. They're down by 5 kills. They're down.
I'm actually just right now
really.
reading all of the Underlord got changed a lot. It looks like at least his numbers did. Are you reading this, Badger?
Yeah, a lot on the
Uh,
aura. That's a lot on the aura. A
Yeah,
lot on
like
the Fiend's Gate.
his innate is really cool, by the way.
After an allied hero, is it only through the Fiend's Gate
No,
or on any?
no, just any teleport, and then the Fiend's Gate one is buffed.
Oh, what the?
That's what I'm saying, Badger. This is kind of cool. Oh, I kind of fuck with this, Badger.
That's actually.
The buff duration
Oh.
is only 5 seconds, which is not that long, but it's long enough, you know?
That's not too bad. I mean, think about like say in like a mid-game fight, it's like minute 24, right? Having a 15% move speed buff and an 8% damage reduction buff is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think about little things in Dota, you know. So you talk about Dota being a game of
And like
instances.
receiving the 2 times bonus, like if you like Fiend Gate your team into like a Roche fight, like that's when I see the most value coming out of this.
Mhm.
Like you know they're going for Roshan, and you like Fiend's Gate to them to, and like you know what I mean, like there's some times where it seems really useful. Because imagine you're getting 16% damage reduction, like for 5 seconds while you like all TP into a Roche angle, right? You know that's like it's like pretty fucking useful.
Yeah, it is.
One thing I didn't like about Logical's team last game is that they didn't really have auras. And I really hope that they actually farm and buy auras this game. I think that the best item against Shadow Fiend for an extremely long period of time is not BKB, but Pipe.
Mhm.
Pipe is very, very, very good against Shadow Fiend's damage early on. Before he has double refresher, or sorry, before he has refresher, he will not one bang anyone if you use Pipe on the team. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I really hope to see either a core step up and buy it, or this Shakiro better farm a lot and buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is non-negotiable pipe angle for Dire.
All right, if we're on Aura Watch, so Hero's buying Greaves, DP's
Yeah.
buying was buying Shivas instead of doing Lincolns with a Veil, probably Shivas. I'm sure Magnus can also buy even more auras after this Blink Dagger. So there's even like an Underlord can buy an aura or two. I mean, there's you even have an aura built into your hero. There's a lot of auras. This is like the aura team. Mr. Kill top lane. More. I don't say no great.
I will say the big one is just getting pipe though. I think that aura is very important for Dire. It's also important for Radiant, but like it's already queued up on Doom, so yeah. What are your thoughts on the Badger?
I mean, you're definitely right. I'm sure Magnus will buy it. If not Magnus, then we got a problem more than likely economically. Blink RP Skewer into the Macro Pyre Wage. Gets silenced, cannot use his main Requiem, and now it's time to dive for Bunions, who has Black Hole, gets it off, but to very little effect. Now Logical is going to arrive. Bubbles has to go back through the other end of the Fiend's Gate, but instead it's just 3 dead. They'll now move for Jay, who has a blink. He can blink to the northwest, and will, Dire, thanks to the Observer Ward, know exactly where he's going, but they're just not going to catch him. Instead, they'll catch the much more stationary mid-T1 tower. 3 kills, 1 tower, big win for YWSPHS so. So, Logical has 400 damage and an Echo Saber, so, it's gonna go down when the aura goes down, but that's just... Talk about a win more sort of tower siege scenario. Like, you win a fight, and you just have that much damage!
I think I really actually like the more and more I'm watching Dog play the Underlord pick, I really like it. Like he's doing a lot to help his team. He crushed his lane. He's like I feel like I could see this being a pretty fast game from Dire. Like they're gonna be really strong together. Yeah.
How do you deal with them? I mean, literally, how do you deal with them right now?
I mean, you just split the map and you hope that they waste too much time together. Like right now, they're literally all stacked together, which I actually don't think they want to be doing. I think they probably, but they're.
Yeah, Doom's
okay,
in the middle of everything. This is a very chaotic fight. Requiem now is there, hitting mostly the Tiny. Tiny certainly will fall. Jakiro dies to Wage as well, so it's both subs dead. The important cores are on the run. They're very slow, though. Look at Logical. He turns on Jay, though! He does so much damage! He'll harpoon to Wage! He's so lapping! But in comes Karan, trying to save his mid laner, and he will do so. That's the one flaw as Underlord hero. He has very low move speed.
Yeah. I think it's kind of unfortunate for Radiant that the Enigma got the kill though. This Slark hero, you know, it's I'm always pretty scared to play against Slarks and Legal Lads, to be honest, because all it takes is you guys fucking up your coordination one time on stuns, and like he can kind of pop off. They do have a lot of magic damage for him, a lot of AOE control, so it's not like. But like I'm just saying, you know, I could see Karan getting like, you know, a third, fourth item BKB and kind of putting on a show, because there's a lot of heroes for him to farm stacks from. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I will say they don't really seem to be interested in ganking him, which is probably the major hero you'd be concerned about if you're Dire. He has a pretty free game.
Yeah, maybe just being more building minded. They've already killed 2 tier 2.
I'm actually
towers,
really
so...
curious what Dog is gonna buy, by the way. Through like, I'm just curious what his build is gonna end up looking like. I really have no idea. I mean, I'm trying to think like what would be good on this. Like, I would assume at some point in AC, because you do want armor and you want attack speed, so at some point you buy that, but probably not now. He's got a BKB queued up, and that makes a lot of sense. He's against Shadow Fiend. You know, the ulti alone will kick him out of the fight, so that's straightforward enough.
Yeah, okay, he's going BKB. That's not too shocking. You brought that up a little bit.
Yeah,
already,
I'm more just curious, like what else is gonna round out the build, Patrick. I'm gonna theory craft. I bet you he will buy a.
What about S and Y?
I don't know. I don't actually know how much value you'd get out of it.
Well, Bunions is going to definitely die. It's actually a lot of. Actually, not that many misspells. I mean, Dire missed like 2 spells there, but turns out
I could
2
see him buying a
misspells is not
Blink
enough.
Dagger, by the way. I could see him buying a Blink Dagger.
Ooh, so can I actually. Maybe like a late game Swift Blink upgrade as well. Just get that.
Yeah. Because late
yeah.
game, honestly, turning it into like either Swift or Overwhelming is good on your hero, right? So it's got multiple ways you could turn it around. Okay, what else, Badger? What else? Link. Oh, he'll probably get a Link at some point in this game for Doom, right? Like.
You know,
Right,
ideally
Badger?
you just have your teammate use Lincoln's on you, though. I mean, DP's buying a Lincoln, so you know what, Campbell?
No.
Get doomed.
DP needs to not get doomed themselves. It's actually more important that DP doesn't get doomed than Underlord doesn't get doomed.
Yeah,
like-
probably.
Yeah, because when DP gets doomed, like DP's actually like so squishy, like you know what I mean, like, yeah.
Simon is trying to escape, by the way. That is extremely futile. He's going to die. And the unfortunate part, too, is he used Macropyre to kill the wave. The wave didn't even fully die. He did not get all the lasts out of that, so that's... Again, what can you do, right?
A eel, Badger, A eel. I could even see that SNY the more but like, I don't know, it doesn't seem great.
I mean,
I'm
it's,
kinda-
okay. It's got a good build
I'm
up.
kind
It
of
gives him what he
mentally really
needs, you know?
invested in what he's gonna buy, Badger. Oh, no, Nullifier, like, at some point. I guess, I don't even know.
I don't think it solves his problems this game, though. I really don't think it does.
No. I mean, he could just go, like, buy a Hex, honestly. Like, why not? You already have so much damage. Fuck it. I could see him going back for a Radiance at some point, maybe. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, Badger.
We're seeing multiple Radiant heroes getting gone on, but because Dire is splitting their attention, they may only get the one. Yeah, Jay, the much harder hero to kill, gets away. Buffalo's blink to the southwest. This isn't a... Nah, it's too much tiny. Yeah, too much tiny. Good attempt there by Buffalo's, but the inevitable has arrived, and now the Tusk is dead. I do want to point out, though, the graph has gotten a lot more favorable for the Radiant side. It's only a 1k net worth lead now versus the...
Yeah, I feel like Dire has
kind
kind of... Like, Camel Farmer's still doing stuff, but I feel like they kind of want to get Dog included, and they want to, like, really run at him, you know?
Almost certainly. Because, I mean, this hero is way stronger than anyone else in the map right now, right? He has to be the strongest hero on the map.
Yes.
He just does so much stuff.
Yes.
I agree with you, Badger. I concur, legally speaking.
And we are seeing the pressure put on. Maybe the idea is like you play this hero maybe similar to the way you play a Spectre, where you have your team play as 4, and then if stuff goes wrong, you can go from farming elsewhere on the map to Fiend's Gate towards the fight.
Dude, look at how
Bottom
much
lane,
network...
they skewer the Tusk. Tusk certainly will end up taking a lot of heat here. Both teams are arriving. The Doom is there on next for the RP. Fiendsgate is on the way. It'll be a 5v5. But who wins it? Requiem comes out. PKB from Logical. A black hole! On 2! They're trying to kill the DP, but DP's still alive! They're killing nothing! Goodbye, Karan! Goodbye, Buffles! They'll move towards Jay. Wage tries to turn. He brings down Logical! But the RP on 2. Magnus dies after the RP. Ice Path on 2. Now the dude is lost! It's a 2-for-2 trade. TP's away. Camel's been slowed. NPL gives his life. Camel still has to turn. Tiny's already dead. Now Jay is running for Camel Farmer. Radiant are smoked. They've got the move speed, but they're running in the wrong direction. Camel TP's correctly and gets away. Regardless, still a win for Buff Buddies. It looked fantastic, then disastrous, then turned out fantastic. It's a 3-for-2 win there.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of shows why you need to doom the DP though. Like she was chain stun that whole time. She has no like she hasn't like bought like a plate mail. She doesn't have an E shroud, but like she survived that entire fight with like I understand that you want to doom. They wanted to doom the Magnus so he couldn't RP. Magnus just eventually walked back into the fight and RP'd, and like they never killed the DP. I think they really need to prioritize using Doom ult on DP. I think they will struggle killing her immensely if they do not doom her. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Badger?
I agree. It's at this point
Oh,
now.
I like this off from Radiant, by the way. They had a nice, very nice time to take the Tormentor. They get the stack off from the Ancients, and they get the Wisdom Rune. That was kind of like the perfect sequence.
That's just some macro genius gameplay right there. Really
I
is.
will say, I think I would much prefer to have the Enigma Shard. The Enigma Shard, like the Tusk Shard can be really strong, but it's kind of like, it's a bit of like up to the play. Meanwhile, the other one is just literally like Malefice stuns longer,
And gives
and you just get more damage on it with Eidolons as well. Like, you know what I mean? It's just longer stun always good. Longer stun is always good.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I'm looking around at Dyer's items. Now, the one thing you emphasize, and I agreed with you at the time, is the necessity to buy a pipe. I'm looking around, and I am not seeing a pipe in the quick buy of literally anyone, but I am seeing an S and Y, and so me and Logical are on the same page here. We think S and Y is good, so... I'm not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but it is a sign.
Well, I think SNY is good too, but I think he's buying it too early. I think it would be better if he bought like something else before. I don't know, honestly. Underlord carry is so weird that maybe this is the best item build. I really don't know. But yeah, so far I have been liking the Underlord carry, but I don't think they want this game to be in like a neutral state. You know, I think they really want to be looking to push the pressure. I think late game dealing with Black Hole, dealing with Doom, dealing with the Spark with like 3 or 4 items, and you know whenever Shadowfiend gets to the golden point of like refresh your BKB, I think the game is gonna be not easy. Yeah. I will say I really like Death Prophet's build, by the way. I really like how they just like they like more or less like speed ran this Lincoln's, and then they're getting a Shiva as a BKB. You know, just I'm liking it. So it's a very solid build.
It is definitely not easy to find a fight at this point, though. I mean, they're trying right now. They spoke to the Radiant Jungle. The RP on 2, it's fantastic! But a snowball save from Buffles! Is it enough? No, the 3-man Ice Path! The Black Hole! It's on 4! The Requiem! The turnaround! But it's fantastic! It's an absolute bloodbath! Logical Shrine! He slaps down Bunions! Camel is low! Karan is fighting! Camel stays alive! That's an absolute slobberknocker! Buffles brings out Camel. Logical wants to kill Buffles. There's no way that Buffles lives. Absolutely no way. He'll be brought down. That's an ultra kill for Logical Dota 2. That's a 5-for-4 trade. What chaos in the river.
New meta, bro. New meta.
Oh, man. That was...
New
Wow.
meta, Badger. New meta.
Wow.
How do you feel about this new meta emotionally?
It excites me immensely. I got very loud. Usually, if I'm loud in a team fight, it means I'm excited. So I got very excited there.
That's awesome, Badger. New meta.
Yes. Well, we're not done yet. Despite the earlier fireworks, everything being on cooldown, there's still the will to fight. Oh, a short force staff from NPL. Probably would have ended up dying on Tiny anyways, but now he's most certainly going to actually stay alive. He's ready to keep missing spells! They keep missing spells! He's finally dead. But now Dire have arrived. Ice Path Necropire against Wage. He's got BKB ready, but doesn't want to use it quite yet for that, and as a result, it's a bounty rune claimed, a kill secured. And once again, no more fighting.
Oh, and he's buying a Hyperstone. So the question is he making a Moon Shard or is he making an AC?
He's not. He's building a Chrysalis.
Or he's not. He's just gonna sit on it and all right. Listen, you gotta let dog cook. All right.
We saw a lot of that in both Game 1 and Game 2, sort of like these half build-ups, saying, you know what, these intermediary items have good build-up, they've got some decent power spike, and I can contemplate later.
Well, I think on Underlord it makes a lot of sense to just buy some straight-up attack speed and then not actually, like, you know what I mean? Because he has so much damage and just, like, no built-in attack speed, right? Like, that's why by Echo Saber, you know, like, this makes a lot of sense to me, you know, like, so, yeah.
That's fair. I mean, you have a lot of good options here. I mean, you have Mjolnir, you have Gleipnir, you have AC. Are there more items? There's even Bloodthorn. You got a lot of items there.
Ooh, Bloodthorn is actually the most. Bloodthorn and AC
Gleipnir?
would be my two candidates.
Oh, Gleipnir is not a part. Hyperstone's not a part of Gleipnir. My bad.
Yeah.
Might be. It's what, Atos and Maelstrom only in the recipe.
Atos Maelstrom recipe. Yeah, that sounds correct for Gleipnir.
Yeah, I have not bought Gleipnir in maybe ever. I don't know. I don't buy much Gleipnir.
Fair enough.
Well, it's our good friend Roshan. He's died how many times this series? It's 4 times game 2. I think once in game 1, so he's our 6th Roshan of the night. I'm hearing a very loud thunderstorm outside. Hopefully nothing internet or power-wise goes out, but if it does, then what can you do? Fiend's Gate full. You mentioned it earlier. Avalanche on to DP Exo. Magnus Skewer against the Doombringer. Ice Path on 3. Fantastic from Simon. Tiny is dead, but it could be a turnaround. Camel's been doomed. He's still half HP. Logical's lapping people down right now. The damage is huge. The cleave is huge. A triple kill for Logical Dota. And now we know what time it is. It's time for Roshan to actually still alive. It'll die soon, I'm sure.
Woo.
So this man is at infinite cleave.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at the cleave. He's got 35% cleave on the facets. And he has the empower for another 40%. It's 75% cleave.
Yeah, I think right now I'm pretty worried for, because I think Radiant had the total, like, there's just no, like, you guys don't need to start a Roshan, like, you know what I mean, like you guys need to just, like, chill, split the map, like, make your like BKBs, make your, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
like they really were like in no rush to take that, and they kind of just sprinted for it, and then they got, then the Fiend's Gate tech we were talking about occurred. Yeah.
And that's what we were excited for, is that exact thing happening. We mentioned Fiend's Gate at the Roshan pit, and I didn't get the chance to say it, but it's a catch-22, where what do you do then? Do you leave the pit and give them a free Roshan, or do you fight on their terms with their buff? It's not fun.
Yep. No, it's a really tough spot to be in.
So,
very accurate of you, Patcher.
Thank you very much, Jim. Bottom lane, though, we're seeing pings. Karan chose to go in against Hang, aka MPL, aka M Planner.
Yes.
Oh, he's barely alive. That good Dark Pack timing. Not quite sure if that was lucky or skill, but regardless, he's still alive. And now this bot T2 tower is not long for life. Goodbye, tower.
Yes.
So, how does the cleave on Empower interact with the cleave from the other cleaves? Like, you get the full...
I have zero clue, to be honest. I don't want to lie to you, Badger. I don't want to deceive you. I have no idea how any of those things interact. Yeah.
I know Logical would know. Problem is Logical's not here. He's playing the Underlord, so... Like, he's been in the lab. He's tested this. I'm not sure if it's like a larger AoE on the only the smaller cleave, or is it both AoE, both cleaves of the large AoE thanks to the facet, or I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I mean, I guess he knows, and the damage seems high, so maybe it is both, but... Oh, man.
I'm really enjoying watching this Underlord carry and just kind of like theory crafting it together while we watch him play. You know, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower.
It's one of those things where, again, if we're talking about Lad's circles, Logical's definitely the mad scientist of these things. Like, he's tested some unholy shit. He talks to people like, you know, Empyrean and Giant and AB1, these sort of guys, so he's...
AB1's a big
circles.
theory crafter.
Oh, I know. I talked to him a number of times.
I like AB1, he's a good guy.
And people, I would agree. People generally like AB1. I have not heard much negative ever about AB1, which is very rare from any Dota player. So I'm very happy about that.
That's awesome, Badger. Woo, go Badger. Can we get a go Badger from Twitch chat? I won't know if they did it though, but I hope they do it.
I'm okay with it either way at this point. I'm in
Badger
the
banned
zone.
me from his Twitch chat.
I did. How did I do
No,
that?
but emotionally you did.
It had to be done. It's good for you to get away from the Twitch chat sometimes. We do have 1/3 duration left on the Aegis. Minute 37 to be precise. Logical is just playing Dota 2 again and walking it down top lane. Radiant Tormentor's about to respawn, by the way, so perhaps that's the idea. You'll walk on up there, grab the Radiant side Torm, and grab the... I guess no Wisdom Room, but again, you can go on here, play this area. As that happens, though, bot lane's where the fun's happening. Karan is pouncing away.
On the one hand, I'm really sad. On the one hand, I'm
hold that
really...
thought, because right now there's a silence against Karan. He'll Dark Pact. He'll Shadow Dance. He's trying to escape. Meanwhile, the Radiant track hit with Simon, who's caught. Back to the bottom lane. It's Karan, who gets RP'd. He's stunned. He's silenced. He's brought down. It's a 1-for-1, but we all know who won that. And that's inside of, yeah, we smile for ourselves on the dire side.
Yeah. I will say though, I am sad that Dire is not buying a pipe. I mean, they're ahead, so it's less relevant, but still, I think they should buy pipe. But Jakiro is buying Ags, and I love the Jakiro Ags. I think it looks really cool, so I'm all for that personally. Yeah.
All right, then.
What do you like? Do you like Jakiro Ags, Badger? I like Jakiro Ags.
I like the old Jakiro Ags. I haven't tried the new one yet, so I don't have an opinion on it quite yet. Well, here we go. Bottom lane, Radiant Glyph, the wave. Yeah, it will die.
His Aegis is really low timer, by the way. I actually, ooh, this kid Dire's gotta be a little careful, bro. That Aegis is real low.
Yeah, they forced him away. He seems like he'll be fine. He'll slot in the Crystallis. Little crit to, never mind. He's leaving. It's escape time. You run away from the action.
Alright, I think Dire all got out. I think this was a nice little retreat, it looks like. A little, instead of retreat, should I say eel treat? Ho 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 ho.
What did you mean by this?
I don't know, just a bad word pun. Just a bad pun. That's all it was. That's all it's ever been, Badger.
Okay.
And looks like Dog is now keyed up the data list, by the way.
He also finished an entire AC. I didn't even notice. He's a stat farm. He's just acquiring items.
I'm like very slightly surprised that Dog hasn't bought the shard. I figured the shard would be good also because you don't really have like you might as well use it on yourself and you don't really have a way to use your mana like your mana's kind of like dead, you know what I mean? Because like you don't need it for anything in this build, right? Except for ulting. But you get what I'm putting down though, right? Like it just be like some free extra damage that you self cast and that's it.
Yeah. Maybe he's thinking, you know what, I'm fine using it on the ground. I could use the gold better. Making it a free shard. Because notice Dire are buying a lot of shard. Oh, they're not. Never mind. I thought they would be buying shards. They're just not buying shards.
No,
so.
I think they probably should. I mean, I feel like Magnus shard is like, isn't that like, doesn't like everyone buy that one? I thought that one was really good.
Yeah, I think it is, but yeah, I'm not really a Magnus player. They find
that
Simon
shard actually.
Simon's incredibly dead, but the RP on 2 into the Macropyre Ags from Simon. Simon's still alive, finally dead, but in comes payback. Requiem is on the way. Black hole on everybody again! It's on everybody again! He's still dying! Dire are still fighting! Logical's cleaving on away. Finally dies, but Campbell avenges him to bring down Wage, and that's only Solark fighting the 1v3, avalanched and tossed, despite everybody being in the black hole. There just wasn't enough damage. It's another team fight win for the Dire side, and oh boy,
Yeah.
it's gonna be real tough now.
While it was a team wipe, Dire doesn't get that much more off of it because of the disparity of gold and EXP. You know what I mean? It definitely was like Dire definitely won out on that. Don't get me wrong, but honestly, not the worst thing I've ever seen happen for Radiant.
They're going for buildings. I'm not sure they'll get a full melee racks, but they're getting a tower. They'll get some ranged racks. It's unhealable damage. Not that much. Actually, wait, he hit it once for 200 damage, didn't he? Huh. Okay then.
Okay. Better put respect on Badger's name, or he'll get you.
I don't think I'm going to get them, to be fair.
Oh, fine, be that way.
I will. So, when's the next Roshan? Oh, we're just getting into the window now. I see. I see. So we're... Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So they're going to be a little bit until the next Roshan. Not that the teams know that.
I think, Badger, I think what Radiant needs is they need friendship and morale right now. They need to all be like, guys, we got this. Go wombo combo.
I would not be surprised if that was the internal environment. These guys are definitely friends. They've played lads teams together. They've played other leagues together. These guys, they like playing with each other. If I had to guess, they have a much more loose team environment than the Dire side. Not the Dire.
Yo, Badger. Actually, this is going to be a really big purchase. Enigma's buying Ags, which makes Black Hole do way more damage. I actually really like this. He's been landing amazing Black Holes. Yeah, I'm down for this.
I agree. Dude, they are not killing the Tormentor right now. They really are not killing Tormentor right now. Where's the damage? Is Bunyan's dead? Okay, he's not dead. That was shockingly hard, though. Alright, something's going on bottom. I don't exactly know what, but nothing happens in the very end. Instead, it's top lane with an RP against Karan into an Ice Path, into a Macro Pyre, into a Fiend's Gate.
Into the gate, bro, the gate.
So he's dead for 71. They do... They do not know he doesn't have buyback. So they'll go anyways, trying to force the buyback out. They're going to learn what we know. He simply lacks the gold for buyback. T3 is dead.
Can you say the word Barracuda for me, Badger?
Barracuda,
thank you.
not used to avail. He's just dead. Requiem hits 2. Buffles somehow alive. Skewer against Jay.
No
Jay
refresher.
BKBs. Black Hole is up if Bunions wants to go for the hero play without Karan. That's not easy to do. I mean, you could try
Shadow
and do
Fiend
anyways, but...
The Shadow Fiend is so close to the refresher, but he did not have time to make it. Very unfortunately for him.
It's going to be a dead set of top barracks. Link, oh no, the skewer after the harpoon. Buffles gets eviscerated. Logical BKBs. I guess the BKB to force the Blink away to walk away. Regardless, a win. They'll double back with a smoke, perhaps. Made the Roshan instead. Roshan probably the more obvious and conservative play there, but they want to be a little bit wild and crazy. They could just run back into the Radiant base. Instead, they'll just not do that, though, because they want to win the Dota game, so. This is money on the line for those who don't know. Need the exact number for fun. What's the exact number of money on the line? So it is $700 on the line right now. And these teams are not here to not win $700. They're here to...
Win $700?
They're here to win $700.
That's awesome, Badger.
They are here to play. And as a result, Roshan dies. That is Aegis and Banner to Yeah We Smile Per Hour So. 2 lives to Camel rather than Logical. Maybe thinking, you know what, Logical? You are literally so unkillable. We do not care if you get doomed. We do not care what they do to you. You just have infinite everything. I mean, 4k HP, 40 armor, BKB, SNY. I mean, he's just tanky, so.
Yep, he's got a Satanic queued up. I would prefer to see like a Swift Blink or something like that, but I understand the Satanic. I think it's reasonable. I think it's a very fair choice. Who might have questioned Dog on the Underlord +1 as well.
Well, Simon is just dead. He walked... I am not sure what he thought he was doing there. Maybe he thought the Radiant were not here, but the Radiant were there, and now he's very dead.
By the way, Shadow Fiend finally has the... He has the refresher now. Very close to his 25 as well. So this next fight, we could see the SF like really pop off.
Onions going for refresher next as well. Yeah. What else? What else is going on here, Badger? Let's see.
There's a play of just use your abilities, hit them, and kill the opponent, which is always good to have.
Badger, how did you know about the legendary technique? I thought it was sealed away for 10 millennia.
Who do you think sealed it away?
Was it you, Badger?
It was me. I sealed it
Oh
away.
my god. Badger, you're so frightening. I'm scared now.
Good.
Please don't shield me. Please don't seal me in the Shadow Realm. I don't want to be in there anymore.
I'll try my hardest not to.
Thank you. Alright, Badger. Let's see what's going on here. I think SF needs to get out on the map for just a tiny. He should really try to get his 25, I think. Yeah. His 25 is very strong. He actually has two, like, he's one of the heroes that actually has two really strong 25 options.
He just got it, so he grabs the Feast of Souls grants 30% cast speed, so
Yeah,
he'll be able to do that.
That shit is like instant, bro. Oh my god. That shit is like fucking instant.
Okay, in comparison to like the old Arcane Blink, is it faster than that or slower than that?
I think when you have Yashikaya plus the talent, I think it is faster. I'm not actually sure though. Not actually sure.
Okay.
It emotionally feels faster, but I think just one or the other is slower for sure. You know what I mean?
I remember it was not fun playing against that back in the day. You would just die. Oh, top lane. RP against Slark. He's in the Shadow Realm, though. He's looking to get away. The Shadow Dance will end soon. He's still pouncing. He'll BKB. He'll look perhaps to TP. He's on cooldown! He's gonna die! He's going to die! He is simply dead!
Ooh. That is emotionally devastating.
Absolutely, he's got buyback, but that's, you were correct. It'll be the Death Shroud on cooldown, the BKB on cooldown. This could be a second set of barracks. Maybe 3 sets of barracks even. I don't know. We'll see. Middle lane, a Hex against Jay. He's in the Shiva slow. He'll BKB, look perhaps the turn, perhaps the TP. We'll find out very soon. He'll just actually walk away, doubling back towards his teammates, but... Ooh, man, the double damage rune has ended on Logical, but luckily his aura gives him a permanent double damage rune, so... He's ready to run it down again. Link, Walrus kick against Camel. That's a hard man to kill. He's got 2 lives. Maybe they'll bring him down one time, but he's still living. He's forced away by his teammates. The T3 is dead. Logical says, you know what, guys? I'm not interested in this interacting thing we call Dota. I'm just going to hit buildings. It's far more interesting for me. He 5 shots the barracks, heads to the melee barracks, kills them as well. It's now 2 sets up. Harpoon, Skewer against Buffles. He's hexed. He's avalanche stunned. They're going to kill this man. And now he has no buyback. But we still have Black Hole. We still have double Requiem. So there still is an angle if you can land everything. But if they position properly, it's just going to be so hard. In the trees goes Bunions. He's looking for the angle. He is the designated protagonist. If Radiant will survive even a minute longer, it will have to be on him. He walks up, but he's hexed! He's hexed! He's hexed! He's hexed! He's hexed! The Doom on Underlord! The RP on 3! Requiem's coming out, but it's canceled once again! Thanks to the stun! So now Requiem, but it does nothing! He'll refresh, but he's hexed again! Oh no, Ice Bath! He's getting stunned! Is there a black hole? No, MPL! Finds it deep with the back lines! There is no black hole thanks to that! He's still waiting! The stun on 2! Black hole on 2! They'll kill the Tiny! But they're not even killing the DP! He's too tanky! Radiant! They're collapsing! Their game is about to end! Their tournament lives are coming to an end right now! They're using the buybacks! It's desperation time! They have to kill Logical! They have to kill Logical! They have killed Logical! He's dead! For almost 2 minutes, Harpoon, Skewer against Wage. He's hexed again, has no BKB. Logical buys back. He'll Fiend's Gate in. It's going for Wage. Wage is trying to fight, but now the dieback. The BKB from Buffles. Jay is low. They're trying. They're kicking Camel, but he's so tanky. They're trying to bring him down, and they will not do so. Ranged Rack's dead. Another Skewer on 2. The Racks barely are alive. Now secured. Megas for the Dire team, and they'll try to escape. Desperately, Logical gets away. Jakiro, not so lucky. But it's just such a hard game state. That was their last good defensive chance. And they lost absolutely everything in their base. And some buybacks.
Meow. Is that not the perfect time for it?
No.
Oh. Whatever, man.
Oh, man. So, I mean, you have to run it down mid now, right? You have to do something. You can't play down megas, right? You have to do something here.
I mean, they don't like do Dire still as a fort and all the like. Honestly, Badger, it's like Badger. I think it's over.
It certainly appears that way, but... Yeah, okay, when do we have Black Hole? 49 seconds. When do we have Double Requiem? 53 seconds. So they're going to have the Wombo Combo Perfecto in less than a minute. They've run the Tiny, who blinks into Enigma. Enigma has the Malithus. Slark pounces forward, but it's a Wind Waker from NPL. Logical backs up his Tiny. Tiny turns with Avalanche, hexing the Slark. Slark remains fine. Now Simon respawns. TP's in. Harpoon against Enigma. Enigma is being right-clicked down. Barely alive, force-staffed away as Slark gets brought down by enough. That is a dieback for Slark. And now in come the cavalry. Dire arrive. Radiants are trying to split away. Tusk certainly will die. He'll go down and has no buyback. So we're playing no Tusk, no Slark, neither of buybacks. You will have Black Hole and you will have Double Requiem, but you're fighting 3 versus 5. It's going to require the miracle fight of all miracle fights for this game to even continue for another minutes. It's another Hexian's Doombringer. He's brought away from his friends. Doom is there on Tiny.
He has Refresher. He can do another hero. He has Refresher.
He's trying to get some mana back right now, but as happens, the tier 4s are getting absolutely slapped down. Both tier 4s are dead. Exo from Camel, Doom onto Underlord. Requiem comes through, but it does absolutely nothing. Wage does it again, but again, absolutely nothing gets caught. At this point, you've blown your load, you've blown your combo, we skillward into the Ice Path. Hex against Enigma, there will be no Black Hole. He'll turn a Black Hole, but it's immediately canceled by Camel Farmer. That's the GG. And yeah, we smile per hour, so we're headed to the grand finals. They have a date with Typical NA.
Woo! Woo! GG's to everyone. I'm gonna go play Battle Cup, Badger. I gotta go.
Alright, good luck on your Battle Cup.
Thank you, Badger. Thank you for letting me cast with you.
Thanks for coming on. You have a good night, Chip. Okay. Recover the lungs. We're recovering the lungs. That was intense. But certainly the game 3 we were all looking for. Some very exciting heroes, some very great team fights, despite the best efforts of Buff Buddies. They could not keep their tournament hopes alive. They will walk away with $120, though. So you know what? They say they're not coming away empty-handed. They will get money. They'll get, so they have to say, you know what? We were top 3, you know, of all the teams that entered. How many teams entered this season? Let me count real fast. 12 teams entered. And they got top 3. It's top 25%. Not too bad. But only problem is they've lost the video game. They will have to wait for next season of Lads Plus. But Logical and his team, yeah, we smile per hour, so we'll have a date with Typical NA, which will be, I believe, tomorrow night. For those who want to watch some more, I would say amateur, but actually it is semi-pro Dota 2 for being technical. They'll play Typical NA featuring such names as Rusi and Pistia and Brightside, 3 names that have been long-time stalwarts of the I'm not gonna say pro Dota, but the borderline NA pro Dota community, where they've been in a number of these good teams in NA. So really exciting stuff there for that series. It should be tomorrow night. So yeah, congratulations to my boy Logical and his team on taking game 3 in this 2-1 victory over Buff Buddies. Of course, commiserations to Buff Buddies on their loss. Thanks again for participation, and congratulations on your $120. Come to cast your games, cast your tournaments. If you're a pro TL looking for a tournament admin, or a commentator, which of course is cool, then contact me over on Discord. It's Badger Pablo on Discord, or over on twitter.com/BadgerDota2. I should be back tomorrow night for the Lads Plus finals, assuming that is tomorrow night. So, yeah, as always, thank you for watching and have a great night.